Science is more than a body of knowledge. It's a way of thinking, a way of skeptically interrogating the universe with a fine understanding of human fallibility. If we are not able to ask skeptical questions, to interrogate those who tell us that something is true, to be skeptical of those in authority, then we're up for grabs for the next charlatan, political or religious, who comes ambling along.
I'm a skeptical robot.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah 猫のグミグレープゼリーみたいな毛並みマイクと腹をかき捨ててリングサイドに座る技を支持する猫の髪帽子に指輪が入ってるよドラッグキスフレックスマットはどこ紫猫の髪彼にはキッズのイメージと秘密のダジャレがあるレスリングのカオス彼こそがそれだエルボードロック彼にはジョークがある彼は解説の王者だボディスラムと紫のフレア神の声がどこにでも響く
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. This is Skeptical Robot. I guess we need a little bit of maybe some applause, some air horns. Thank you so much for being here. Unfortunately, Gummi could not make it tonight. but we do have someone here in his place, and I have not seen this video yet. Please welcome my co-host. Please welcome my co-host for the evening, Crow. Hello, Crow.
Hail Satan! God!
That was great.
What's up, everybody?
Folks, I was not allowed to watch that beforehand. But yes, welcome the, what was the story almost? It was the crow that gave instructions.
I'm Hell's
kill.
harbinger of subliminal messages.
Yes, that's what it was. Folks, we also have a fantastic guest backstage, crowd favorite, fan favorite, Mr. Pat Dixon. How are you, Mr. Pat Dixon?
You guys do have fun, don't you?
Don't know if you saw the last episode, but this character was birthed on the spot. Because we read went over a story in which when we're talking about heavy metal music, there was a guy named Ricky Casso who claims that he received instructions from a crow to kill someone and was arrested wearing an AC/DC shirt, and that helped feed the Satanic Panic of believing that heavy metal music was evil. But it turns out he was on PCP and then killed himself that night. You know, your typical story. But from there, yes, we had a new character join the show. That is Mr. Crow. He's not Mr. Crow. I just call him Crow. But
yeah, I was just like, if you watch the episode, you actually see me make him in real time. All the colors and stuff come to be. Like,
I was very I was really getting excited about the match that was coming up, you know.
Yeah.
I really lost myself in that intro.
Crow should fight somebody. We'll have to figure that out. Hey, thank you very much, Reverend Hamhead. Thank you for the 20 Luigi Greenberg memberships. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Always generous, always awesome. Thank you, Mr. Hamhead.
By the way, I can barely hear those air horns. You should crank those up a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Joking.
Oh, are they loud? Sorry. I will edit them. Thank you so much for being here, Pat. The crowd loves you, and I wanted to bring you back for this one. And like I did tell you backstage, I did plan on giving you a little bit of a break and not bothering you and asking you to come back on the show. But this particular episode really just hit me. And I was like, man, Pat's really going to like this one. And honestly, it's probably one of 2 episodes that I've done research for in which I had a visceral, angry reaction while doing the research. Like, this one seriously just made me mad as I learned about it. It's crazy. And it falls right in line with everything that we talked about in the first episode where you were here, about, stories getting out of hand and crazy and being unfounded, but all in the pursuit of sensationalism by the media. And this one might be the worst offender of all of them. It's really insane. But I don't really even know how to describe it well. I'm glad that you're not too aware of it, but basically this is going to be the last chapter of the Satanic Panic, in which this might be the most egregious, insane story of all the stories of how bad it got. And basically what spelled essentially the end of the Satanic Panic, because I think people started to realize that it had just completely gotten out of control and that things were going nuts, and they were like, maybe we need to really kind of start thinking about things more critically. This is the McMartin preschool trial.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, it is crazy. And just to give you a brief overview, what happened was, you know what? Actually, I'm not even going to give a brief overview because I do use the video to give an overview of it. But essentially, people were put on the most. Some people were put on trial in what essentially becomes the longest and most expensive to this date trial in U.S. history, with no evidence to support any of the accusations made. It was all based in satanic panic over one person's claims that their child was being molested in a satanically ritualistic way. And then it just goes nuts from there. It's a snowball effect. But this one's nuts. This one is really, really crazy. And so far we've covered, just to kind of give a quick recap, we've covered the first episode was Michelle Remembers, which you were here for, and you were great. Loved having you here for that one. And we're going to do a little bit of a recap with the video package. Then second, we talked about Dungeons and Dragons, and third was heavy metal music, and now this is going to be the end of it. Also, I saw Woody from Syracuse in the chat. He recommended a movie to me that I watched that actually was based on this trial, and it was a great movie. It's called Indictment. It's on HBO Max. Great movie. But enough of me talking. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Great.
Crow,
Yeah.
how are you?
I'm doing amazing. We got 2 membership milestones. We got Hamhead for 16 months, level 1. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
And we got Space Nerd, member for 3 months. Thank you, darling. Always a pleasure with you guys.
Thank you very much. Wow, I don't know why I'm not seeing them. All right.
And we got one more real quick. We got Donald Hunter, and he just got 5 months. And we got MGOA 2 level for 5 months.
There you go, Donald Hunter. Thank you for celebrating 5 months.
Thank you.
Yay. Wow, that is. Hold on.
Yep.
See if I can.
Oh, wow. We got another. We got Calvertons, member for 3 months. Hey, you guys rule.
Man, I don't know why they're delayed. Here you go. Okay, I see Calvertons. Thank you for the 3 months of membership.
Yeah, and between Donald and Calvertons, MGOA 2. There you go.
MGOA. Thank you very, very much, everybody.
And we got Ms. Latanya Vegas, my side piece, and if she's member for 8 months. Remember, Latanya, Hackamania, you and me, White Castle Burgers.
Latanya celebrating 8 months of membership. Thank you so much.
8 months, man. You're gonna have to. You might have to graduate from side piece to real problem in your life.
She's gonna get some White Castle from Gummi at Hackmania.
Yeah, she is. Take that for what you mean it for.
Some sliders.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm looking for those other ones you mentioned. You said Space Nerd. Oh, there you go. Okay, I got it. Space Nerd celebrating 3 months of membership.
And Hammers is like right before that.
Yeah, Hammer celebrating 16 months of membership. Thank you so much, everybody. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's see. I did lower the volume a little bit. There you go. How's that? All right.
And we got one more. We got Trigger for member for 4 months, level 2. Saying Crow has nice looking legs.
Thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate that. And another one. And Dang Lizard celebrating 9 months of membership. Thank you so much, everybody.
And
Thank
real
you.
quick, shout out to Dang Lizard. Helped me out with a project I was working on over the weekend. So thank you very much. And we got Doopa Doopa Doo, Miss 3D.
And Doopa Doopa Doo. Thank you, Doopa. Celebrating 12 months of membership. Thank you, Doopa. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is really making me feel all warm and fuzzy. And you know what? I was actually feeling kind of down today. And I mean this very sincerely. Hearing that Catherine O'Hara died really genuinely made me sad. Like, I love Catherine O'Hara. Like, that really kind of messed me up today. So let's have some fun and talk about something weird.
Makes you feel better. She's not down here with me.
No, she's an angel. Man, that really bums me out. It's one of those things where you start thinking about your own mortality. It's like, God, how old am I? Yeah, but anyway. All right. So let's get to it. I spoke to both of these people behind the scenes, and they said they don't know anything about this one. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking more about it. So let's just jump into it. But before we do it, Pat, would you like to plug anything before we get started?
Oh, just my Censored.tv show, I guess. New York City Crime Report. It's live every Friday at 11. And, of course, my YouTube show, at Pat Dixon.
Yeah. And make sure you use promo code Dixon to get 20% off your monthly and yearly membership.
Hackamania, of course, Dixon.
Yeah. Promo code
awesome.
Dixon.
There's too many things, but...
and Donna G, thank you so much for the 1999. Sorry, boys. Just got here. Love you, Gummy Bat. It's Gummy Bat. Gummy Bat. That is Crow. Thank you so much, Miss Donna G.
By the way, I showed Luigi. I actually made a Crow shirt, and it came in today, and it came out fire. It came out awesome. So
it does look
go to
pretty cool.
gummychainsaw.com. There is a Crow shirt already. Super adorable.
Okay. Think we're all caught up. And
thank you, Don. I love you.
Let's see. Thank you so much, everybody, for showing so much love. I guess we'll get into it. So now let's get started with.
Let me give Pat a quick rundown on the lore of this show. So here we go, Pat. I'm an alien space cat who now lives in a bodega, who's married to Donna G, and my side chick is LaTanya Vegas, who is a trans prostitute in Las Vegas. Now you have the lore.
I guess some context probably might help. I didn't even think about it. We like to create stories with our chatters.
I like it.
Yeah. It's funny. I shouldn't assume anybody knows that.
Yeah. It's like, that's why I give you the rundown of all this silliness.
Wait, knowing about it doesn't change it much.
No, I guess it doesn't.
More.
Yeah.
It's like...
LaTanya is very cool. She's been with us for a long time and has told us a little bit about her profession. And I guess it just kind of fascinated us. We were like, wow, okay.
Still want to get an interview with her.
Yes. Yeah, we still need to. But yes, let's get started. Here we go.
All right.
All right, we are going to.
Is there a well-organized plot?
It never fucking works. It never works the right time. All right, so we're going to start off with a little bit of an intro just to kind of catch everybody up on the first 3 episodes of the Satanic Panic that we have been covering, to kind of give context to this last episode, because the context is very, very crucial. And I just don't want to give any spoilers away and talk about it too much, but we're all going to see why the context is important. And you're also going to see, Pat, why I specifically wanted you to come back for this, because it all ties together. But we're going to give a little bit of a rundown here of what the McMartin preschool trial was, and then a little bit of a background on everything that's led up to it so far. And then we're also going to watch this guy who apparently was a pastor in the 80s and also a porn star. Just kidding. I don't know. He just looks like it, though, doesn't he?
An insidious design right now to program and influence the minds of our children towards the occult and witchcraft.
Back in the 80s and early 90s, a wave of troubling accusations swept across North America.
And intense scrutiny on the activities of satanic cults.
Stories of devil worship and satanic cults corrupting.
I also want to point out that this scene right here is only going to pop up one time. I took it all out because I remember it annoyed Pat.
Really?
Young minds.
Unbelievable crime at the hands of satanic cults.
There were terrifying tales of secret satanic cults bent on tormenting and corrupting the young. Heavy metal music had hidden satanic messages.
Possibly satanic messages on some rock music recordings.
Games like Dungeons and Dragons were luring kids to devil worship. And it got even stranger.
Allegations of physical and sexual abuse of children at a babysitting service.
The dark world of ritualistic child abuse.
There's a widely held opinion that what happened at the daycare was the devil's handiwork.
Underground networks of Satanists were...
And that is what tonight's episode is going to talk about. Accusations that preschools were working jointly, all in the service of Satan, to torture and ritualistically abuse children. What's so insane about this story is how far it goes, and it is going to fall very much in line with everything that we discussed in episode 1 about Michelle Remembers.
Infiltrating daycares and preschools to physically and sexually abuse children in occult rituals. Much of what fueled the panic was not real. These claims led to a wave of high-profile criminal trials in the US, Canada, and beyond. The cases often followed a similar pattern. An initial report of physical or sexual abuse at a daycare would snowball, taking on a life of its own. Overzealous interveners, everyone from parents to police to counselors, would question children, some as young as 2 years old, in ways now known to produce.
I want to make sure that that part is very, very clear as we move forward with the story. Some children as young as 2 years old are interviewed for their recollection of facts. That sound right? That sound reasonable to anybody? No. Sounds odd.
Wow.
False
I'm sorry. I just got quiet. That just threw me off. Like
it's nuts. It is insane. And we're gonna hear even more insane stuff as we go on. And I really just don't know how to prepare you guys for this story. Like, this story gets crazy. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Children began to talk about animal sacrifices, blood rituals, secret tunnels, even cannibalism. Police would lay charges, prosecutors would take them to court, and the media would report uncritically on what seemed to be a growing threat.
Authorities searched frantically for evidence of an apparent ritual abuse epidemic across North America.
Some cases would fall apart at trial or during appeal. Others resulted in wrongful convictions. Many of the accused spent years in prison, while others faced financial ruin and damaged reputations.
Now, again, this is all just an introduction to let you know what we're going to be talking about. And now we're going to talk a little bit about a quick recap of seasons 1 through 3. But everything that this woman said is true. That narrator said in that video is true. People went to prison simply based on accusations of associations with Satanism. That was enough to put someone in jail and on trial for some of these crimes or accusations. She didn't even say they were crimes, accused crimes, alleged crimes of ritualistically torturing and killing babies. Now, there's a lot of practical questions. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, like what you just said, ritualistic torture, murder, and, molestation of babies. I mean, on the face of it, it doesn't sound like a bad thing.
Some of them might be delicious.
But just an association, you're saying it would be enough to attract attention? I mean, like they obviously couldn't be charged with associating with Satan, right?
Exactly. But what's crazy is she lays it out well, and I realize it probably won't make sense if it's not in context, but she lays out the process where one person makes an accusation of abuse, be it sexual or physical, and then once there is a potential suspect named, once that potential suspect gets an accusation, not even proof, an accusation of being a Satanist or associated with Satanism, that is suddenly enough probable cause to put the person in jail and on trial for the crime.
That's crazy.
And this is all within our lifetime. This really happened. When you think of the passage of time, this wasn't that long ago. Where, yes, we're going to find out basically who the accusers in these situations were. I don't want to give anything away, but let's just say among the three of us, if I say that, Pat, I think you abused my, my son because you own a daycare center and I saw a bruise on him. Well, then all I have to do is with no proof of that bruise, say, I heard you're a Satanist. That becomes the probable cause to lock you up and put you on trial. And again, no evidence. There's no evidence in these cases, and we're going to get deep into them and see just how insane this gets. But that was enough. That's what's just so crazy to me that my mind just cannot fathom. That was enough to take someone's rights away, was an accusation of Satanism. It's crazy, folks.
It just doesn't sound real.
It doesn't.
It sounds like the basis for like a movie, like just like an exaggerated movie. You know what I mean? But not like it's some real shit. That's insanity.
Yeah.
Unprecedented, totally unprecedented. Well, except for the Red Scare.
Yeah.
In Salem. And
and it's funny because you think that like, I shouldn't say you think. I should say like there's some expectation that humans learn from their mistakes and won't repeat them. That's what's crazy. And as soon as Gummi said that this was like McCarthyism, I mean, that hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, that's exactly what this is. Because once, let's just, stick with that scenario where I'm accusing Pat of being a Satanist. As soon as someone comes to his defense and says, he's not a Satanist, guess what? Now they're a Satanist.
Say now they're both Satanists.
Yes. And that's
You're
exactly
a covenant.
what happens. Yeah, it is so insane. Now, okay, now I do believe that it is important to talk about our first 3 episodes, and this is going to be very brief, just a couple minutes, of how we get here. And these are what I believe are like the 4 major parts of the Satanic Panic. Like I said earlier, was a book that was released in 1980 called Michelle Remembers, Dungeons and Dragons and Heavy Metal Music. And that is going to basically set the tone of where we are in in the timeline and basically in the atmosphere temperature of the world that spawns this trial. It's crazy, and I promise it's all going to come together.
On November the 1st, 1980, a Canadian psychiatrist, Laurent Pazder, published a book called Michelle Remembers. The book outlines therapy sessions carried out on a woman named Michelle Smith. The book details how, under hypnosis, Michelle regressed back to a 5-year-old version of herself, and over the course of 600 total hours of therapy, recounted how she was a victim of satanic ritual abuse.
Now, Pat, you were here for that episode, and you were great. And do you remember what one of the biggest bombshells of this situation was in the end regarding the church? The church was actually paying preemptively the psychiatrist to perform these sessions in order to write the book. It was planned. It was all a giant con, and the church funded it.
And what sounded like a paltry amount of money, although it was more than $10,000.
It was $10,000 in before the book was published. So I guess it was $10,000 in 1978, around that time. And he essentially proposed the idea of the book as an investment to the church, and they're like, okay, sure, we'll take you up, and we'll even give you money, and you can focus all on this because it's going to be beneficial to all of us. And it turns out it was all a giant lie. That lie is believed because the book becomes a bestseller and immediately turns into what we now know as the Satanic Panic, in which Dungeons and Dragons is attacked as being satanic. Heavy metal music is attacked. It all becomes the foundation for this overwhelming movement across North America to believe that Satanists have infiltrated our world and are trying to corrupt the youth and also kill and eat them. And it sounds so stupid to say out loud, but this really was the basis of the Satanic Panic. People really believed this, and television networks were putting a lot of money into sensationalizing these stories. And then we find out years later, after Pazder, the guy who wrote the book, his ex-wife decides to expose him and expose all the lies, and does the most minimal of research to prove that the lies told by Michelle, who was giving all of these stories of being tortured by Satanists, were all lies, and it's all exposed. However, it was too late, and the damage had been done, and the panic swept over into the United States and Canada.
And then by like 1989, the Mega Slayer's third album was like, "We Love Satan."
Yes, there was like basically a market correction in which now we're overcompensating into Satanism just for the fun of it. And Marilyn Manson, becomes a thing, and is still a thing today. And it's just crazy. It was all based on lies that just got out of control. And that is very important for today's story.
At the hands of her mother and several other members of a satanic cult during the mid-50s.
I really should have been.
Pazder states that some of these recovered memories involved a worldwide secret satanic organization where one ritual even summoned Satan himself. Not surprisingly, the book has long since been discredited. However, this spurred an alarming wave of satanic ritual abuse cases being reported to authorities in what became known as Satanic Panic. The Satanic Panic was a nationwide phenomenon where throughout the 80s, over 12,000 unsubstantiated cases of satanic ritual abuse were reported to authorities.
Now that's important too, is 12,000 cases. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, is the abuse. There were 12,000 reported cases of satanic ritual abuse. And I don't know the exact number, but apparently a very large majority, practically all, were unfounded.
As a result of the book Michelle Remembers being published. At the height of the panic, it was alleged that a global satanic cult that includes the wealthy and elite, in which children are abducted, were behind this evil conspiracy. This strange wave of alleged satanic ritual abuse cases brought together many different peoples of the United States to tackle the issue.
D&D has become popular with children anywhere from grammar school on up.
Yeah, but it's just your character that does it on the...
Now, Pat, I don't know if you saw the Dungeons and Dragons episode. I think that we all kind of know that Dungeons and Dragons is associated with the Satanic Panic. It's just kind of out there in the zeitgeist. But I actually really tried to dig deep into why. Why was it? And it turns out, exact same story. Unfounded, sensationalized stories that associated some potential deaths with Dungeons and Dragons, when it turns out Dungeons and Dragons was actually being played by over 5 million people at the time. And when a couple of them committed suicide because of long-lasting mental health issues, there's a causation. I'm sorry, there's a correlation, but there was no causation. But that's not how the parents of the kids took it. They took it as causation because they played Dungeons and Dragons.
It's a different world. You know, that was the first, like role-playing type game that had become big, and, it with the little sack of dice and everything, and a dungeon master. It was there were only 2 other games before that. It was going to be very early. I mean, there was Monopoly and Battleship. And then this.
I used to love Battleship. I tried to get Gummy to explain the game of Dungeons and Dragons to me. I still don't understand it. I don't know why my brain, it's like craps. I've had craps explained to me at least a dozen times. I do not understand it at all.
It's really hard to just explain. Like I said, like I'll walk you through, like I'll write up a session and walk you through, and you'll pick it up. It's a lot easier to pick up when you're actually like playing.
Well, craps is exactly like Dungeons and Dragons, but for money.
I don't know how I play D&D.
That'll be funny if it turns out to be true. And yes, and if we do play D&D, we'll be playing it for money.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't get it. But what's crazy about it is that in doing the research for Dungeons and Dragons, it had like so much less credibility to its accusations. Like if Michelle Remembers was, considered to be very, very low credibility in the accusations made, Dungeons and Dragons accusations were even weaker, so much weaker, and so many of them were even retracted. But again,
part of me still says they were like, all right, what's outselling this book? And they're like, Dungeons and Dragons. All right, fuck it, that's satanic. Like, it could have been anything that was selling that high. You know what I mean? Like I don't even think it had anything to do with the deaths. I mean, they tacked that on later, but it was like, whatever's really popular at the moment. All right, let's hop on, let's attack it and make money off of their backs.
That's exactly it. And then it got more explored in episode 3. And I think Andy actually did a really good job of explaining it, where you see that it becomes something that whatever's taking money and attention away from the church, whatever it is, it becomes an issue. And also we see a progression from Michelle Remembers into heavy metal music, where the Satanic Panic started off as a full-on con. It was a grift. It was a lie. It was a fraud. And then once it begins to gain its own life, aside from the Michelle Remember story, it then becomes a slow transition into coping, where parents are simply able to use the Satanic Panic as a scapegoat for their own failures as parents. And Dungeons and Dragons is right in the middle, where it starts off as someone is being very, very dishonest and disingenuous by making this accusation that Dungeons and Dragons has anything to do with Satanism. And then as we progress on to see parents simply needing someone to blame for not being able to explain the actions of their children. And then with heavy metal music, it's 100% coping. This will make a little more sense.
Sheet of paper.
Not so with a lot of adults, and says there are 28 deaths related to Dungeons and Dragons.
We're really talking about intense involvement.
There were not 28 deaths. That was a complete lie. There were 2. And this guy, who was the head of the violent I forget the organization, but he was basically a psychiatrist, a professor, and the head of some organization that was trying to get rid of violence on television, is currently in prison for selling opioid addiction drugs in exchange for sex.
In a very serious form of violence.
He also claimed that parents visually saw the demons that were summoned from Dungeons and Dragons games. Yeah.
Felt so strongly that it was responsible for her son's death that she formed a network of concerned people to warn others about the dangerous aspects of the game.
For any good bit or moral outrage, there must be a scapegoat, and one of the most prominent was heavy metal music. The lyrics and imagery of many heavy metal bands made them an easy target, and the fans were often characterized as outsiders who didn't fit into what people considered the social norm. Once the fervor spread, it didn't take much convincing for those who were brought up in religious households to believe that the devil was influencing the nation's youth through music.
In what may become one of the biggest child molesting cases ever on record.
So here we are. It is now 1984. And this is, here we go.
The news used to be so different.
It was. Big Daddy Dodo, thank you so much for the $9.99. Hail Santa! Oops, wrong chat. Thank you so much, Big Daddy Dodo. Appreciate that.
Nope, that's the right chat. We respect that. Satan
You
and
are.
Santa.
You
He
are
brings us gifts down here too.
most definitely in the right chat.
Did you see the graphic behind the newscaster there about 2 seconds back?
Yes, it was the
like Raggedy Ann
and what may become
child molesters on a chalkboard.
That better be someone's profile picture in chat.
Today's lesson.
Child molester for $5.
Yes.
that is great.
Shit.
One of the biggest child molesting cases ever on record. 7 nursery school teachers were arraigned today on more than 100 counts of child molestation.
The accused include the preschool owner, 76-year-old Virginia McMartin.
Okay, so let's just give a quick rundown of what's going on here. A preschool in California called the McMartin School. I believe it was just McMartin Preschool. Anyway, 7 of its teachers are arrested on counts of satanic ritual abuse, including the owner, who is 76 years old.
She's so guilty, I can tell.
She's lived a long life of Satanism.
It makes me think of a Family Guy. There's a daycare center. It's called like Hugs and Kisses. Then it's like, the good kind under it in small letters.
And I just want to set the stage of how crazy this story is going to get.
Her daughter and 2 grandchildren.
Diddling kids.
Finding out just what happened to the McMartin preschoolers in Manhattan Beach, California would spark a national media obsession.
A case which has shocked much of Southern California and caused...
Now, okay, you brought up the graphic in that first frame. I want to bring up the graphic in this frame, and I accidentally passed it. There we go. Keep this in mind. Like I cannot stress enough how important of a detail this is to the story. This is what is this guy's name? I forget his name.
Tom Brokaw.
Tom Brokaw. This is Tom Brokaw talking on a news channel with the graphic stating that there is a pornography ring. I cannot stress enough how important that is to the story. You will understand.
Southern California.
Karmic X brought a pornography ring with that mask.
A lot of parents to worry about the safety of their children,
setting off a panic around the country.
In alarming numbers.
Yeah, it was Peter Jennings. Yeah, thanks, Woody. It was Peter Jennings. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Ted Koppel's the guy who goes, hello, welcome. That who has like the weird throat sound.
They used to Opie and Nancy talk about Tom Brokaw and call him Tom Broken Jaw because the way he would talk.
Yeah, Peter Jennings. That's right. I was like, I don't know.
Preschoolers have been exploited.
Could it be your child?
The media blitz demonstrated unstinting belief that this had happened.
It was sensational and lurid and seemed to always be expanding.
Again, I just want to make notes of some of these headlines we're seeing. 11 sites rated in child sex case.
1,400 children in this community have been ritualistically abused.
But were they? Decades later,
she seems so happy about that.
I know.
That was very weird.
She said it with pride, like it was the ritualistic abuse festival.
Yeah,
we're hoping for 1,600 next year.
We're the ritual abuse capital of the world.
That was weird.
The McMartin case has been largely forgotten. Its impact lives on.
The McMartin preschool in Manhattan Beach, as it looked when we photographed it discreetly just 3 weeks ago.
Local reporter Wayne Satz of KABC in Los Angeles broke the story.
It started out here in Manhattan Beach looking like an isolated incident. One mother noticed that her young son was having nightmares and difficulty sitting down.
Okay. This is where the story starts, and also the first weird part of this. A woman has a 2.5-year-old child at the McMartin preschool and notices that one day he is crying and having trouble sitting down. From all accounts, this woman was obsessed with her son's anus and would frequently check it, and apparently at some point made the medical conclusion that he was having pain in his rectum, all the things that go with, I think we all know what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
So she decides to call the police. And when she calls the police, she also throws in another name. She says, there's actually someone else abusing my son in addition to the preschool, my husband. This is all part of the story.
McMartin Preschool was led by Virginia McMartin, her daughter, Peggy McMartin Bucky, along with her grandchildren, Peggy and Raymond Bucky.
Those commercials,
it was prestigious.
Right? And the slow motion is like when they do like the commercials for voting, and it's sort of like, this representative is accused of that. Like,
yeah.
That's how they just did the media there for those people.
Sorry, this made me laugh.
School with teachers that had been there dozens of years. Most of the teachers were older.
These teachers were highly regarded, respected members of their community.
In 1983, Judy Johnson of Manhattan Beach, California, called the police with a disturbing accusation. Her 2-year-old son had been sexually abused by Raymond Bucky.
And she names one specific teacher in the school. That's what gets like attention from police, where she seems to know exactly who did this.
Teacher at the McMartin preschool. And soon her accusations expanded to include 6 other teachers.
Teachers at this prominent Southern California preschool were accused of sexually molesting their young students.
Authorities now believe that at least 60 young children were victimized, and that the ultimate number could well be much greater.
There's another one there. See? Child molesting doll.
Fueled by unskeptical press reports, the charges mounted on the evening news.
Now, that is the biggest part of this story that, in hindsight, I guess it's not unbelievable, but it still is kind of unbelievable to me. Unskeptical news reports. News reports simply saying that these are all facts and this is what happened.
Those children, some of them as young as 2 years old, were photographed by the suspects.
Now, look at this one. Child pornography. These are news anchors reporting these stories, okay? I promise you this is all going to make sense. I'm kind of just holding it off for dramatic effect as to why these are all important. This is nuts.
Porn was the primary purpose for the alleged sexual abuse of children.
Becoming more and more bizarre.
Some children allege that a living creature was sacrificed on the church's altar.
All right. So, in this preschool, the children were taken to a satanic altar where animals were actually being killed and sacrificed in front of them. That is the claims being made, and that it is all part of a child pornography ring. Any questions?
It all sounds on the up and up.
Yep. Hey, everybody's got their own problems.
Yeah, there's freedom of religion in this country.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, it's probably relevant to mention at this point that Johnson was suffering from acute paranoid schizophrenia. And
now,
Oh,
take that
man.
into account, which guess who didn't take that into account? The county prosecutor did not have any interest in learning about Judy Johnson's paranoid schizophrenia.
If anything, I'd be like, she's the one. She's possessed by a demon.
And unfortunately, I can't find much research to substantiate a lot of the accusations made, but some of the accusations were that she wrote letters and notes and submitted handwritten notes to the police and the prosecutors of all of her accusations, and that they are filled with absolute insane delusions of, we're going to get to some of it, but that the prosecutors and the police had them the entire time and just ignored them, and were still going to pursue these cases because children were involved and they had to look like they were following up on it. And then that got out of hand with the prosecutors, but that apparently from the get-go, the statements by the mother, Judy Johnson, were outlandish and absurd. And we're going to hear a little bit about them.
Every major problem, it's at the center of it, a crazy bitch.
I was gonna say a woman.
We got $5 croissant.
Yes, thank you, Dang Lizard. We know if someone weighs. Oh, thank you. I love that. We know if someone weighs as much as a duck, then they're made of wood.
I'm sorry, is that Scarlett Hampton typing?
You don't know that line? It's from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Wow, it's been forever since I've seen that. That's funny.
A duck. Clearly they're Satanists and should go to prison. What more proof do you need? Thank you, Dang Lizard. Very appropriate, and big Monty Python and the Holy Grail fan here. Thank you. And that's a perfect representation of what's going on here. If she weighs as much as a duck, I can't ever do a good British impression. Okay, so there we go. That is a huge element to this story that gets ignored by the prosecutors, by the police. She's a delusional, paranoid, schizophrenic, and guess what else? An alcoholic. And as soon as she points the finger at someone at this school, the accusations are now out of her hand. It is now completely overtaken by the media, by the law enforcement, and by the FBI.
Yeah, thank you, paranoid schizophrenic. We'll take it from here.
Yes. We're going to come back with an answer for you that we think you're going to love. Yeah. And we're going to get into some of the accusations made. I just don't want to spoil it.
And would later be institutionalized before dying of alcohol abuse. But
she dies of alcohol abuse within the next 2 years of making these accusations. She's nuts. She's fucking crazy. Rebel Trenchcoat, thank you so much for the $5. Hey, here's a note blaming a preschool teacher for Satanism. At least I think so. It's all odd symbols and also says something about zodiac signs. Rumble Trenchcoat, I don't think your imagination could come up with how crazy this story is about to get and some of the accusations made and how this ever got pursued. It's probably going to be the one funny part of this story.
And RTC, side note, come play some Power Wash Simulator with me and Luigi.
We saw you on there. We saw you on there last night, Ruffle Trenchcoat. We were playing some Power Wash Simulator. Yes. Pat, if you, I don't know if you're into video games, but Gummi has got me hooked on this game that is so addictive. It's just power washing.
You take a job and and it's like in real time. Like we did a mission, it took us like almost 2 hours. Like you're literally just power washing like a whole, like someone's house.
It sounds so stupid, I get it, but it is so zen and like it appeals to your ADD and whatever OCD you might have. And I got some DLC packages where I get to also clean the clock tower and the time machine from Back to the Future.
Nice. No, anything that takes me off the lawnmower game on my phone, the mowing thing.
Oh, I have a great lawnmower one. Also, a lawnmower simulator. Oh my God, it's good.
We spent way too much time and it's hypnotizing. Anyway, all right, back to the
sorry for that.
It's okay. It's okay.
I had to bring it up.
But for now, the cops took her allegations seriously, even as the allegations quickly grew beyond the realm of planet Earth. She claimed that Bucky could fly.
Did you hear that? Mm-hmm. And apparently that was in a statement that when she accused the guy who molested her son, he also could fly.
Sacrificed a horse, dressed as a witch, and flew her son to a church with a decapitated baby and a goat.
Okay, I'm going to recap this.
Hold up, real quick, Luigi. You got the text still on the screen? The RTC's chat?
No, God damn it! It's doing it again. It's not there. Shit.
It's like blocking all three of us.
No, it's not on the live feed. It's what you guys are seeing. Tell me if this fixes it.
Yep, you got it.
Okay, all right. Okay, so he could fly. He decapitated a horse in front of all of the children, and then he flew all the children to some sort of ritualistic
church,
place.
Where there's a baby sacrificed. I mean, like this is like when somebody gives a description of a guy, and oh God, he had to be like 6'5", and it turns out he was 6'2". They just go. Some of the facts get a little stretched, but it's the essence of the story is true.
Yeah, and but also keep in mind that this was the initial complaint to the police that actually got pursued and turned into a trial. And not just a trial, the longest and most expensive trial in U.S. history, lasting over 7 years and $13 million, which is equivalent to $33 million in today's money.
Now, that's important, but I think what's most important here is how the mental health system really let that woman down.
It is so unbelievable to me. And again, I was literally getting angry learning about this case. It's so insane, and it gets worse.
Goatman, where naked people stood in a circle chanting.
The truth about Satanism is they truly do use blood, and they mix it with urine, and then they also use the real meat, the real flesh. This is what makes Satanism true. And this,
I don't know what that means when he says, this is what makes Satanism true. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. I thought that was odd.
This is what makes Satanism true. The fact that I'm talking about it.
And the fact that blood is mixed with urine, that makes it true.
Like literally, you kind of want him to say, like, I mean, that's crazy, right? I wouldn't make that up. Yeah. And
man, I miss the 80s.
The cocaine was so good in the 80s.
Yeah, I know. This is what 1,200 molested kids in the city of Manhattan Beach have told the sheriff's department.
Bowing to this pressure, the district attorney's office brought in psychiatrist and Michelle Remembers author Lawrence Pazder to consult on the case.
This is why I wanted you here, Pat, because you would be the only guest to understand the absurdity of that statement.
Yeah, these motherfuckers.
The prosecutors brought in Lawrence Pazder and Michelle Smith, the authors of Michelle Remembers from episode 1, to consult with the quote-unquote victims of the satanic ritual abuse crimes.
Shit. And she dressed like Goody Proctor.
How insane is this?
I did not see this coming. Like that. Like,
nope. Yeah. So again, I apologize, Pat. I wanted to give you a break.
No. I'll come here anytime. I mean, this is always great. But I mean, yeah, this is. I recall the whole story between these two. They were. I mean, I don't know. Obviously we don't need to go through that whole story, but they're not. They shouldn't have been considered reputable people. To say the least.
To say the least, they should not. Everything that they did was considered fraud. Now, again, it had not yet been debunked, but my point of mentioning this and talking about the significance of it was that this is exactly how bad it got, where we talk about how they were given so much credibility. They were literally teaching psychiatrists. They were talking at the psychiatrist, conventions for continuing education. At one point, they start talking to law enforcement, talking to police and FBI agents to educate them on the real satanic ritual abuse, cases going on in plain sight without anyone's knowledge. They were given credibility, and the prosecution brings them in to talk to these 2, 3, 4, and 5-year-old children to influence their testimony.
I'm legit going to make this, and we're going to post it on X. I'm going to make one of those pegboards with all the strings and put all this shit back to these two fuckers, because it all does.
It really is. And I actually thought about doing an episode 5, but I was like, we're probably 4's enough, talking about the West Memphis 3, and maybe we still will another time. And if you're familiar with the West Memphis 3, it was 3 guys who were put in jail for 18 years for a crime that they didn't commit, and there's really not any evidence to ever suggest they did, but because one of them was interested in the occult, they were prosecuted and found guilty, and one of them was even on death row the whole time. Direct result of Michelle Remembers. And it's nuts, man. This is so insane to me that in my mind, this was all a fraud, and whether or not people were perpetuating it willingly, that's up for debate. I don't know. We can't tell that, but it was still all birthed in fraud, but
that really made me laugh in chat from Genie. So kids, you see any devil stuff?
Yeah. I mean, we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. And it's going, if it doesn't make you angry, oof, literally was making me upset.
And also, Johnny said also do the West Memphis 3. Yeah, we'll do it. I think we just might wait a little, so we're not, because we're going on a month on this topic, so we want to go to a different topic, and we'll revisit it. And we already have a guest who wants to come on for it.
That's true.
So it'll happen. It's just
maybe we'll make it members only. But anyway, yeah.
The DA also handed a major portion of the continuing investigation over to Key McFarlane, a consultant for the Children's Institute International, or CII, an agency with the mission of identifying and treating abused children.
Okay, now this is another very important element to this story. It's going to put a lot of this in context. Children's Institute International was a good organization. I believe it still exists today, that was in the business of trying to help law enforcement find abused children. And the court basically subcontracts all of the interviews with the children from the McMartin preschool to them, the Children's, and then Children's Institute International assigns one person to head up all of the interviews, and her name is Kee, K-E-E, McFarlane. That is very important to this story.
A total side note, as someone who works in branding and does logo design, that's a really good logo. It's simple, but to see eye and making an adult and a kid as the two eyes, that is fucking genius. As an artistic standpoint, that is a really good logo. I'm sorry, but I got to point that out.
It is odd, but I don't know that it really gets the message across. We're looking for pedophiles.
You know? But not only that, I mean, just the name, you got the C there, and you got the two people, and those are the eyes.
Yeah.
Parents were encouraged to send their children to CII for interviews lasting 2 hours. McFarlane took 400 children through a series of leading questions. The interviews often followed a pattern. At first, children generally denied seeing any evidence of abuse. Eventually, however, many children began to tell McFarlane the stories she clearly wanted to hear.
Okay. I'm sorry to keep stopping it, but there's just a lot of information here. So she interviews nearly 400 children by herself for 2 hours at a time.
Oh my God.
This takes a while. And we're going to see specific examples, but she begins to lead the kids' testimony. That is, I get that doesn't make much sense without an example. We're going to hear an example. But I just want to plant that seed with you. Yeah.
Hands up, whose butthole hurts?
Woody from Syracuse. Trust me, it's getting more loco. Seatbelt secured. Yeah. Woody knows this story very well, and he has actually he's the one who recommended that movie to me. Which, oof, man, if some of the shit in that movie is true, it's crazy. But this is a huge element to the story here.
I'll be right back in one quick second, right?
After the interviews, McFarlane told parents that their children had been abused and described the nature of alleged abuse. But
now, that's a big part of the story too, in that without going through the legal process, Kee McFarlane does the interviews with the children. Now, again, we want to make sure we all know they are 2 to 5 years old, and then makes the conclusion and feels that it's in her authority to disclose it to the parents and tell them, yep, your kid was, ritually abused by Satanists.
Well, there is a gray area when law enforcement starts to subcontract stuff like this, I guess. And that gray area was probably pretty enormous at that time.
Maybe. And there was no HIPAA, no HIPAA laws or anything.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Here we go.
By March of 1984, 384 former McMartin students had been identified as being the victims of abuse.
And speaking of mower games.
Now, you hear that number? There were 400 interviews. 384 of those interviews were identified as victims of satanic ritual abuse at the McMartin school.
The other 16 were pedo sympathizers.
The other 16 were ugly. That's a pretty high number. That is a insanely high number.
Was 400 the total number of students?
No, 400 was the number interviewed.
But that was just the sample size.
Right. So essentially what happens is that feelers were sent out, and we're going to we're going to see how, and parents and like there were students and former students were encouraged to parents were encouraged to send their kids to CII for the interviews, and 400 participated. That's the better way. So it's students, it's current students and former students.
Second, 1984.
So, quick question.
Okay.
So now she interviewed, 400 kids.
Right.
They were saying 1,200. Did other people interview the other 800, or did those just not exist, or is it just like a number that was
for the county? That lady was talking about the county. Yeah. And
MIA 16 prudes. Hey, what's up, Taz? Welcome.
Hey, Taz. And yes, that was the woman who was very proud of having 1,400 in the county. Yeah. So 400 the parents of 400 current and former students participate. Now, let's talk about what motivated them to participate.
Before you hit play, put me on full screen real quick. I always have to do this when Taz shows up. Hang on. Hi, Taz. Here's your love too.
I actually like it with the hellscape background.
Grand jury indicted Ray Bucky, 3 other family members, and 3 McMartin teachers on 115 counts of child sexual abuse.
360 children were collectively shipped off to the Children's Institute International, where social worker Key McFarlane conducted interviews using puppets and some of the most leading, suggestive questioning techniques in the history of forensic interviewing.
The way she conducts these interviews are with the puppets. Seems like something you do with children, obviously, but...
At the request of prosecutors, CII social worker Key McFarlane and her team had been videotaping interviews with the preschoolers.
Using puppets to encourage the children to reveal what happened, the therapists were able to unlock the horrible secrets of the McMartin school.
This is all being done before the trial. Key McFarlane with CII submits tapes to the media to say, this is what we're doing to help with this trial in order to extract the testimony from these kids. And did you hear what that reporter said? He is concluding live on the air with that video to talk about the quote unquote horrors that occurred at the McMartin school. They are sealing the fate by concluding that this already happened.
People in chat are blaming Tukey. It's more than one.
McMartin, her daughter, 2 grandchildren, and 3 other teachers were ultimately indicted on more than 300 counts of molestation.
2 South Bay preschools.
Now you got me looking at all those.
It wasn't long before
those graphics.
Wait, yeah. Look at the graphic. The shadow is reaching the hands from behind on the bear.
Ew.
That is dark.
That is pretty dark.
Even for me. Oh my
God. Accusations of
terrible.
Abuse were being reported at 7 other daycare centers in LA County alone.
Investigators were at the Hickory Preschool in Torrance earlier today.
And then fear spread across the country, eventually targeting scores of daycare centers.
So now no daycare center or preschool is safe. All because of a paranoid, schizophrenic woman who made one accusation, and now, again, epidemic, panic.
But the story that initially fed the panic was not all it seemed. In the summer of 1983, a 39-year-old mother called the Manhattan Beach Police Department and accused McMartin teacher Raymond Bucky of molesting her 2.5-year-old son.
In the DA's office, all kinds of doubts developed, particularly about the fact that the mother of the first complaining child was psychotic, but they just kept on going. It was like the Titanic. It was like a roller coaster or a ship that just was out of control and couldn't stop.
The police released Bucky for lack of evidence. But then they sent out this letter to some 200 families.
This is how the families were motivated to submit their child for the interviews with CII. A letter got sent out by the prosecutor,
instructing them to question their children about sodomy, oral sex, and fondling.
To ask their child. Now, I get they're not all 2 to 5. There's some, former students that are older, but they are still asking 2, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds these questions about fondling, sex, things they don't understand. And also, they're believing the answers of 2, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds.
Believe no children.
How can anybody justify this? This is so insane and ridiculous.
I hate that word too.
Which one? Fondling?
Fondling, yeah. You know what I mean? It
is weird. And
the police sent out a letter to about 200 families telling parents to question their children. Emotionally involved parents engaged in leading and suggesting questions with their kids. Cases were contaminated, and it became impossible to learn the truth. The letter listed the possible criminal acts under investigation. The acts include oral sex, fondling of genitals, buttock or chest area, and sodomy, possibly committed under the pretense of taking the child's temperature.
They even provide suggestions as to how this might have happened and what they might have been told. It's insane. This is absolutely insane. And I'm like so speechless on so many of these things that happen. But they really are setting all of this leading information to get back the responses that they want, which are what, in their mind is really the only acceptable answer. Everybody's a Satanist and your kids were abused ritualistically in service to Satan. It's insane.
Did your child hear their teacher say checking for oil?
Like, why would anyone do this? And then from a legal background, why would they suggest, the scenario in which this would have happened?
It was still a new idea in a way. I mean, it goes back to the Greeks, right? But I mean, it was still. It wasn't a new thing, but it was like as far as the national consciousness goes, it was, and so they had to kind of. I think that in a way, all these parents and shit, and like maybe the country in general, were trying to get their arms around this, like, actual thing they never really thought much about. You can't just drop off your kid anywhere and assume that this shit's not going to happen.
I thought you were talking about butt sex. That started with the Greeks.
I guess it was was it the Romans? No. The Greeks would have like a little protege boy,
Yeah, something like that.
Also, the idea with speaking of subliminal messages, repetition of the name of Ray Bucky over and over. It's actually twice in a row there. That's hammering it in that he did this. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like when the name's done over and over and over, like it's not if anyone, it's like this specific person.
Exactly.
Like an attack ad, right? Like little Ray Bucky.
Exactly. Yep.
And he was the one that was originally accused by the mother, but we see that I'm repeating so many words. I really hate that I am, but it just keeps happening over and over again, is that it took a life of its own. And even though he was the only one accused, it snowballs and takes a life of its own, and it's not good enough to just arrest him or accuse him. 7 people total, 6 other people have to also get lumped in with him as being a part of this.
When you said repetition, were you talking about that last sentence, how it's literally twice in a row?
Yeah, exactly.
Ray Bucky tie up a child.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
See what I mean? Yeah, it's like a song.
Even
lyric.
within that sentence, it's like a typo.
Yeah, I wonder if the producer actually got that wrong.
That's what really threw it in when I saw the name twice in a row. I'm like, holy shit, they're not hiding what their agenda.
Yeah, yeah. But again, leading, like they don't ask, did someone hurt your kid? They're saying, did Ray Bucky hurt your kid? And also Fly.
Or as Calverton said in chat, I got Ray Buckied.
Have you had the barbecue at Ray Bucky's?
This is crazy. This is
I've heard of going inside
crazy.
Bucky's, but this is ridiculous. Honk honk.
Also, photos may have been taken of children without their clothing.
Oh yeah, that's another one. The photos. Remember we talked earlier about the reporters reporting on the quote unquote pornography ring? Don't forget that.
Any information from your child regarding having ever observed Ray Buckley to leave a classroom alone with a child during any nap period, or if they have ever observed Ray Buckley tie up a child, it's important.
It's Bucky.
John Myers, a professor at the University of California, Hastings, and a lawyer who represents child victims of abuse, called the letter a model of what not to do.
So I had to keep that in there, that some professor who was studying this case basically said this fucked everything up. And it basically tainted every piece of evidence from here moving forward.
Great choice of words.
Which is crazy because as reasonable people, we see that it holds the potential to do that. How they moved forward after doing this is inexplicable.
Luigi, Woody from Syracuse says something in chat for you. He said
that?
that he forgot to mention that the movie was co-produced by Oliver Stone. He had it in big capital letters, so he needed you.
Oh yeah. No, I saw that.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you saw it or not.
I mean, I saw it when I watched the movie. Yeah, and I don't know how I feel about that because Oliver Stone is kind of a kook. Well, whatever.
What happens then is the parents start to talk to their kids, and then they start.
Now, also, Pat, does this guy look familiar? If not, that's okay.
I think he might be the only guy who made any sense in that other.
Yep. That's right. He was the FBI agent who started actually doubting all of the stories that he was hearing from Lawrence Pasder and Michelle Smith. He was supposed to be taking a educational class in which they were teaching, and he started wondering why a lot of these stories that they were telling, a lot of just the facts didn't really line up all that great. And then he started to kind of wonder why they were married. They had both left their spouses and married one another.
Total.
And but he actually gets involved with this case also. This case is what starts to give him the ideas that Lawrence Pasder and Michelle Smith might be full of shit.
Start to talk to each other, and then they start to compare notes, and pretty soon emotionally involved parents are engaging in leading and suggestive questioning of their child.
Kenneth Lanning worked with the FBI's Behavioral Science Unit and consulted on the McMartin investigation.
Once these cases are contaminated, it's almost impossible to know with any degree of certainty what actually happened.
Concerned parents began to look to their children and ask if anything happened to them. The majority of the time, the answer was nothing happened, but parents still persisted, and soon it got worse. The police decided that instead of them handling...
Wait, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
This is the CP you're talking about?
Yeah. Is this the fondling?
Yeah.
What a weird B-roll to use.
The children and interviewing them. They would instead hand the responsibility to the Children's Institute International to do the interviews with the children. 400 children were interviewed, and all of them were done by one person, Key McFarland.
The therapists at CII believed they knew what had happened. Based on their videotaped interviews, they said that more than 90% of the 400 preschoolers they talked to reported signs of sexual abuse.
Mr. Parrott, can you help Susie show us what happened to her?
The courts immediately sealed CII's interviews with the McMartin children. But the
now,
holy shit, that was a Tukey. Go back a second.
That
was the olive green.
That is a crazy part of this story, in that the court seals the court seals the testimony and the interviews.
Reported signs of sexual abuse.
Mr. Parrott, can you help Susie show us what happened to her?
The courts immediately sealed CII's interviews with the
I didn't even think about that. That's funny. So
it's fantastic.
That's how you beat me to it.
The courts seal the testimony, meaning they don't want this getting out. They don't want anybody looking at this, seeing this before it is involved as testimony for the trial.
McMartin children. But the CII therapists shared demonstration videos like this one with the press.
They go to the press themselves, and they want to talk about how great they are at interviewing children and how they're doing it, and to let everyone know that they are going to uncover the satanic ritualistic abuse. They did it themselves. They went to the media, and the media, of course, ate it all up and decided to air it.
And discuss their findings on television.
We have heard it 100 times or more from children, the same things, the same games, the same descriptions.
I can't say that I ever saw a videotape where kids said this happened to me. Never of their own account, spontaneously.
Not one kid said that they were abused. Of the 400, and then remember, 90% of those 400 were determined by CII to have been abused. Wow. Not one said it. But it gets weirder.
The interviews are upsetting to read because essentially what happened is the therapists unintentionally coerced the children into fabricating stories of abuse. You have interviews that will start off with a therapist asking a child whether they had ever played any naked games.
The therapist creates the scenarios and then asks the kids, did this happen to you? And gives an example.
That just reminds me of Airplane. Ever seen a grown man naked? Ever
Yeah.
watch Gladiator movies?
Totally.
At McMartin, this was a huge topic, was naked games. And
so she's specifically saying, have you played naked games? Not the kids talking about this or suggesting it. It's being asked as a leading question, specifically named by Key McFarlane when doing these interviews.
I like that horsey game, though. It is.
Children initially say no.
And they say no.
The therapist, though, didn't accept those answers. So then they repeat the question. And then they repeat it again. Eventually, the children realize that their interview is never going to be allowed to end until they start giving the interviewer the kind of answer that she wants to hear.
I assume you guys are getting this, and that
After the interview, there will be cookies and punch.
Exactly.
Right.
And excuse me, the therapist is laying the foundation, planting the seeds for what she wants to hear in order to confirm the the finding of abuse, and is asking them essentially the yes or no questions. Now, here is where it's gonna really hit home with how bad this was. I'm gonna actually play someone reading a transcript of how one of these interviews starts.
And it's like really subliminal with the cookies and punch. It's just animal crackers, but it's just the horses.
This is a guy reading off a transcript of a question asked by the therapist and getting a no answer. And this is really unbelievable.
Buzzy B here wants to know if teachers touched your private parts. No? Are you sure? Everyone else said yes. I think you're just scared.
Everyone else said yes.
What the fuck?
Soak that in. You're telling this to a child. How absurd is this?
Scared to tell. Buzzy B will be so sad if you don't tell the truth. Don't you want Buzzy B to be happy?
Don't you want Buzzy B to be happy? Tell me
That
the story.
sounds molesty. Don't you want him to be happy?
And that, again, was another reason why I wanted Pat here, because Pat actually made this one particular statement that I thought was so incredibly poignant and applicable to everything here. And I don't know if you remember saying this, Pat, but you said that the same that the same tactics used to try to interview victims, children victims of abuse, were the same ones used to abuse them and gaining their trust. And you were saying that it was essentially the same game, just with different outcomes. And that is exactly what's happening here. And it's funny that you picked up on that, Gummy, because that's exactly what I got. It sounds like they are victimizing the children.
Yeah.
You know, the
That
therapist
last
is victimizing the
sentence.
children.
Kind of sucks for them, though, because they go through all the trouble of grooming a kid and none of the payoff.
Well, they do eat the kid later.
And we got $5 from RTC.
Oh,
yes, exactly, bro.
They use the same interview techniques on perps. Thank you for the $5 Rumble Trench Code. They use the same interview techniques on perps in the first 48. Now,
Yeah,
now
the first
imagine
48 months.
Yeah. Now imagine doing it on a child who is under the age of 5. Seriously, this is what happened.
Yeah, that is the same thing. They're like, we already know what happened.
Yeah.
Your friend's in the room down the hall. He gave up everything. He said you were into it.
And yeah, exactly. And specifically, I'm telling you, I got so angry at that one line when she says, everyone else said yes. What is a kid going to say to that? Like, I'm not a psychiatrist yet, but even I know that that is going to elicit a response to make me happy and to shut me up, to just give in. You know, that's what kids do. That's how kids react.
Kids are followers.
Didn't you compliment the CII? You said they were a good organization.
No, I said the logo was awesome.
No. I know. Luigi originally said, they're a good organization. They were, contracted
You know what?
to do this. But,
if I did, I was drunk.
Well, I mean, it's
intended to be a good organization. How's that? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Allegedly, but like when they have, when you subcontract somebody to do something like this and you say, go find the child molesting, they're going to find it.
Right.
I mean,
and if they don't, that could mean that, if they don't, that could mean they don't get another job.
Right. They didn't do a very good job. They didn't find one molester.
Yeah. I've heard of this story, in passing, and the details of this just make me think that this was on another planet. Like, this doesn't seem like Earth, This is so ridiculous. And would you believe it still gets crazier? So let's talk a little bit about Key McFarlane. She was the one doing all of the interviews.
The puppeteer.
Yes, the puppeteer.
Not much is known about the life of Key McFarlane, just that she was born roughly around 1947, and that she worked for the CII. She considered herself a psychotherapist, though she did not have the qualifications to be one, and her lack of training in how to deal with children was shocking. For one, a typical interview between her and a child would start with the child claiming nothing happened, but then she would begin asking leading questions in order to get the answer she wanted. She would also tell the children that she interviewed that other children had come forwards and tell the child what the other children had come forward with. She would use anatomically correct dolls. Pretty much she was the worst type of person to get answers about what was happening to these children from. Children naturally will answer what they feel an adult wants to hear. Children naturally want to feel accepted. This This is why you do not ask them leading questions. Sometimes nothing actually happened, and it should be left at that. But Key McFarland was one of those people who were engulfed with the idea that SRA was happening, and she wanted to do whatever it took to stop it, even if it wasn't happening. I should point out that she was a director at the CII, meaning she was a boss. In this,
how unbelievable is that?
Wow. And she considered herself a psychoanalyst, she said. Because
now, where that comes...
Can you just consider? Can you just consider yourself a psychiatrist?
That's what I was saying. That's what I was like, what?
Now, where that statement comes from is actually explored a little bit more in the movie that I referenced earlier, in that it's testimony from the court case where she was asked about something, and she said she starts giving off examples of psychotherapy, and she gave one too many. Where the lawyer asking her says, "Well, you're talking about psychotherapy. Are you a psychotherapist?" And she said, "Well, no, but I use all of the technique. I try to use the techniques." And he says, No. Are you a qualified psychotherapist? And she says, "No, I'm not." And he really dug down. And that's where that comes from, is that she believed she was effectively using what she considered to be psychotherapy without having officially been trained on it. And she was not tasked with doing that. She just thought it was helpful. That wasn't part of the assignment, was to be a psychotherapist, but she insisted on doing it that way.
This next chapter, you're going to learn some things these children were telling her that she believed.
Buckle up.
It was obvious in the interviews that all kinds of techniques were highly suggestible, highly pressuring, and is capable of creating false memories of abuse in children.
Holy shit, did you read
often
that paper?
Permanent memories.
Let's talk about some of the things the children claimed in these interviews with CII. In addition to claiming that the children were essayed, the children also claimed they were taken to underground tunnels for satanic rituals.
They were taken to underground tunnels underneath the preschool.
The place didn't have underground tunnels.
Their stories included being taken on hot air balloon rides to distant farms where they...
Any comments?
Sounds reasonable.
I feel like that's what a parent tells their kid, like when their pet passed away. It's like, no, he's on a balloon ride to a farm.
He's taking a balloon ride to a farm. No, grandma is off to take a hot air balloon ride.
They were forced to watch baby sacrifices.
They were forced to watch baby sacrifices.
They claimed to have been flushed down magic toilets into secret rooms.
There's a great little graphic there.
Yeah. Was that from Harry Potter?
I cannot stress enough how insane this is. Instead of, you expect this to be told from a child, but this woman is repeating it as fact under the penalty of perjury in a court.
Well, the fact of the testimony.
Correct. She is saying, this is what was told to me by this child, and I believe them. And this is what I believe to be true that really happened. This is so beyond my comprehension level. Like, I cannot believe that some of these things are real or ever happened, really happened. Yeah.
Where they were molested by people in lion costume.
I don't even have a comment on that.
Great if the kid was like, the kid said they were molested by a psychoanalyst with a puppet.
Yes, the puppet molested me. Yeah. All right. Now for the granddaddy of all statements here, what am I going to say? Just of all testimony.
You're saying this beats being flushed down a magical toilet.
It's about
on a hot air balloon to a farm.
It's about to get beat. It's about to get beat.
orgies in car washes and at airports, were forced to watch animals getting mutilated, were sexually abused and photographed, describing a game called Naked Movie Star, and they watched their teachers fly around on broomsticks. One of the child witnesses even identified one of their abusers as Chuck freaking Norris.
Comments?
Was he
Questions?
subpoenaed in this, or was he? Did they question him?
I don't remember hearing that Chuck Norris joke. He roundhouse so hard he molested 4 children. Like, I don't remember that being a Chuck Norris one.
Someone says I was molested by Chuck Norris.
That's
I
too
guess.
far.
Yeah.
I guess we can't say that it didn't happen. We don't have proof that it did. He wasn't molested by Chuck Norris. But yes,
I love the low key symbolism that's his outfit from Invasion USA, because there was some invading apparently.
I put that in there actually. I didn't like the picture they had of Chuck Norris. I thought it wasn't very flattering.
Canadian tuxedo.
Yeah. So again, this woman is citing.
Sorry, real quick from chat. Woody from Syracuse, Steven Seagal is more believable.
Yes, flying toilets that were taking them like Super Mario Brothers to other places. And this woman is saying that this all is real. That she believes these kids that this really happened. I just, it's unbelievable.
Which, with the evidential bar so low, was probably the most believable part of the entire trial. These claims seem preposterous, you might be thinking. Children.
Oh, did you also hear the thing he said about a game called Naked Movie Star? Did y'all pick up on that? Okay, all right.
With Chuck Norris, right?
No, that becomes a little crazy later. We're gonna get an explanation, but
I used to watch that show, Walker, Texas Diddler.
She says that that according to the testimony from the kids, that yes, there was a game they played called Naked Movie Star, and that this, without asking a follow-up question, was considered, of course, salacious and crazy that they were playing this game called Naked Movie Star.
So no one asked, what is Naked Movie Star?
Not at first. They did not. It actually had to come out later in testimony, and we're going to learn what that is. But
we know who it was. It was Roy Rogers. It's connected to the horsey game.
It is just so crazy, and she is like, and I'm kind of laying it out here as it was presented, in that these were all the accusations told us as being believed. No follow-up questions, and we'll get explanations for a lot of this later, but this is just basically dumped onto the jury at trial and just told, this is what they said. Prove me wrong, or prove them wrong. This really happened. I don't have any reason to not believe that they were molested by Chuck Norris and that they took these toilet journeys, whatever. Yeah. It's insane. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Children would never lie.
Did you eat a cupcake?
No. Based on these children's
yeah, I guess I stepped over that, but yeah, the guy just says children would never lie.
Testimonies, 7 McMartin teachers, including the 60-year-old founder, were immediately arrested and charged with 321 counts of child abuse involving 48 children.
Charged with 321 counts of abuse. Where is the physical evidence of any of these abuse cases? Not a single item of physical evidence.
Peggy McMartin Bucky and her son Ray spent years in jail awaiting trial. The preliminary hearing alone lasted 18 months, at the time the longest in American history.
Key McFarlane is no longer with CII. Dr. Stephen Ambrose has been working with children for more than 25 years and was at CII during the McMartin interviews.
I think our therapists, in many respects, started out being very careful about that.
That's kind of how I feel when I said that earlier. It's like they were intending to do good. They just didn't.
back then, but as they became more persuaded that something had happened, there probably were some leading questions.
Dr. Ambrose says the McMartin case came about just as a new understanding of child sexual abuse was emerging.
It happened right at a time in the sort of the history of the field when we were just beginning to come to terms with the fact that child sexual abuse was a real phenomenon.
Wake up, America.
I'm sorry, but
this is your wake-up call.
People don't want to believe that young...
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. It was at this time, like I said, it was a new thing, and like that. And I'm not saying it excuses anything, but I think that's like where a lot of people's heads were at, But this guy, the nerve of this guy is saying there probably were some leading questions, as it went on.
That bothered me too, because I was like, you haven't watched the video yet?
Yeah, if anybody knows, it's this guy. And then who does the buck stop with ultimately? Is it Key McFarland, or is it the prosecutors? Is it it's all the responsibility for this is divided up, so it's spread so thin, that like who's accountable? I would say the prosecutors for sure, but they can say, well, we were just operating on information we were given by CII, and then Key McFarland's like, well, they hired me to do the job, so
I think personally that it was the prosecution is where the buck should stop, because they had evidence to begin with that that the initial accusation from Judy Johnson was coming from a crazy person.
Well, and then the judge who suppressed, all the or sealed rather all those interviews too bears some responsibility.
Yeah, no, I agree. And there's a lot that's skipped over for the sake of time, but I believe that the defense actually accuses the district attorney of prosecutorial misconduct at one point because of the fact that they buried that initial complaint that had all the crazy statements in it and continued to pursue it. And the judge basically said, well, look, we're talking children. You can't be too careful. And so he kind of sides with them to some extent.
And did you hear why? Did you hear why his explanation for why leading questions were they became more and more convinced that something was going on?
Yes, exactly.
Well,
so now they have an agenda.
Well, exactly. But where does that come from? What do you mean more convinced? I mean, like what was leading them to think that? I mean, I think it's more like they were questioning all these kids. They weren't really getting any results. So they said, let's find a way to get some results.
I mean, I think you're hitting the nail on the head. You know what? Actually, I specifically said last time that I needed this sound effect because you make great points, and I actually got it. So here we go. You're exactly right. There is still no evidence to suggest any of this happened. So why are they drawing the conclusions that something happened and then leading the kids to then have confirmation bias as to the I don't want to say fact, I guess the idea that any of this happened. There's so many things based on nonsense. It's layers of nonsense. And none of this should have happened. None of it should have happened. But it's taking, almost like an organization, like a business organization, management saying something. So now other people are trying to make management happy, and they're getting in line, trying to make their boss happy, trying to make their boss happy, trying to make their boss happy. And that's basically just setting the tone for we want someone to fry because society right now is figured out this hot topic issue is Satan. Yeah. And we need this to fall in line. And again, it is so crazy to think this happened not that long ago. In a world where now we have so much information at our fingertips, it's crazy to think that this was ever our world. But it was, and it wasn't that long ago. But it was enough. It was enough to get these people on trial and also possibly send them to their deaths, or to send them to prison for the rest of their lives because someone pointed a finger at them who had no reason to point the finger in the first place.
young children have been molested. They much prefer to believe that it's not true.
We believe the children because once upon a time we were the children and nobody believed us.
But
Wait,
that
I'm
belief
sorry.
was sorely tested, as in.
What?
Did this guy just say they really want to believe it's not true? Because I think it's the opposite.
Right, exactly. You're exactly right. That they want to believe that it is true. Like for
I think his reason in saying that is saying that in the statement he said before it was we were learning that kids were being abused, and unfortunately, while we don't want that to be the case, here's what I think he's saying, and I'm not defending. Here's what I just think he is trying to say is. Once the idea comes into your head that a child might be being abused, you want someone to be punished for it.
Oh,
that's what I think he was saying. And I'm not defending him, but I believe what he is saying is, hey, we're talking kids. Somebody's got to be punished. You know, we don't want to take any chances. And we're starting to realize it was a bigger situation than we initially thought it was. And I think that's what he was saying. But basically, he is also confirming that Key McFarlane absolutely wanted to arrive at the conclusion that these kids were being abused for satanic purposes. And for the sake of punishing someone. Again, you know, I could be full of shit. But that was my interpretation of it. Yeah, here we go. Okay, you know what, Rebel Trenchcoat, this is good. I think he might have been saying that people don't want to believe kids because they don't want to believe that kids were hurt. Yes, that's good.
Investigators searched for physical evidence to back up what the children were saying.
No pornography that could be linked to the abuse that the children were describing has ever been found.
Now, remember what we saw earlier? Peter Jennings and those other newscasters literally putting on their broadcasts those graphics that said pornography ring, child pornography ring, reporting on it as a fact. And this FBI agent says, never happened.
There should have been little animal carcasses. There should have been bodily fluids all over the preschool. They didn't have any of that.
And what about those early claims of
You seldom hear that. You seldom hear the sentence. There should have been bodily fluids all over the preschool.
In your circles, maybe.
Panic abuse.
There certainly have been mentally ill people who have gone out and killed people, quote, in the name of Satan. But there's never been any proof that there was any kind of satanic ritual abuse or satanic cult activity in a daycare center.
So not only is there no evidence of child pornography, there's no evidence of anything. There's no evidence of any of these accusations that kids were hurt. But still, there's a trial. People go to prison for years.
When I first got involved in these cases, I'll be very honest with you, I tended to believe that this was going on. But eventually, the number of cases just kept growing and growing and growing. And at some point, I came to the realization, this many people can't be doing
we don't have this many kids in our county
for this long and not leaving any corroborative evidence behind. Just doesn't work that way.
And that's a great practical and reasonable conclusion to have. You're saying that this is such a prevalent problem, but it's not getting reported and there's no evidence of it, and it's the same people over and over, and they're not leaving any evidence behind?
Yeah, criminal masterminds.
Yeah.
And all these people were convicted just, it sounds like, with no physical evidence, that it would have to be strictly on the testimony of the children that is sealed.
Yes, and that's what's so crazy. There's no
it's not even
testimony.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
It's not even testimony. It's just
You're right.
Interrogation.
Well, okay, actually, hold that thought, because that's going to actually get addressed. But
real quick, RTC's latest chat, he might have also reasonably concluded that a teacher can't really fly.
Exactly. And this is even beyond, this is years after that statement was made. Years. It is now over a year and a half. Okay, a year and a half after that initial flying statement was made, and we're still here. We're still here in having a trial.
He was kind of like, hey, you guys had me until the toilet thing.
Yeah.
18 months after the McMartin investigation began, the case took a dramatic turn.
What we're left with at this point is that for 5 of the 7 defendants in the McMartin case, the evidence is so slim that it does not go beyond the mere accusation.
That's exactly what you just said, Pat. It doesn't go past the mere accusation. However, they still haven't fully reached their reasonable conclusion. They say of the 7 defendants, 5 of them can go because there's, even though all 7 are only based on accusations, they still don't, they're digging their heels in the ground and don't want to let up on 2 of them.
Right.
So they've now said, okay, fine. The evidence, quote unquote evidence, is too weak for these 5. We're dropping all charges against these 5, but you 2 have to stay.
And this is just to save face, that right? Because we're not going to go away with nothing here.
Exactly. And you know what that means? Also, because of the fact that we're talking child crimes, that means these 2 defendants, who, again, all based on accusations, in jail awaiting trial the entire time.
Wow.
Yeah.
No bail for these guys. And at this point, we have to say knowingly being, having their lives derailed and ruined by these prosecutors who just, insist that they have to convict somebody or at least bring somebody to trial.
And 7 of them were in prison for the 18 months. So we've ruined 7 lives. 7 whole lives. And now we're just going to further ruin 2 more. Right. But you ruined 7 for 18 months. You just, cut off the bleeding for those 5. Yeah. So, but that means that we're still going to go move forward with those charges against those other 2.
You got to weigh it, 7 lives ruined versus 384 kids molested.
Well,
What's
of
the
the
ratio on that?
384 kids molested, well, I keep wanting to give spoilers. Let's just hear what
I don't want to get into the math of it,
And while all of this was going on, Michelle Smith and Lawrence Pastor, who wrote the panic-inducing fake memoir that inspired all of this, met with the families of the children and are believed to have influenced the children's testimonies.
We talked about this earlier.
Oh my God.
And now it is believed, and unfortunately we just can't prove it, but in their talking to Michelle and Lawrence, it is now believed that they were influencing the testimony of the children.
Oh, with Key McFarland, you don't even need these 2 guys.
But just imagine how much worse it was,
Right? Yeah. It's even way worse.
Desperate to find evidence.
Were they brought in by the prosecution?
By the prosecution.
Shit.
Yeah.
Of these underground tunnels where the satanic abuse supposedly took place, authorities eventually took to the preschool and literally dug up its foundations.
So now we're destroying the building that they were working in.
God.
Good. Good. Find this evidence, find these bones, look as much as you want.
And guess what they found?
And to their utter amazement, found dirt. Just regular, non-satanic, tunnel-free earth. No basements, no secret rooms, no toilet portals to hell, just good old-fashioned dirt.
I cannot articulate the outrage that I have in thinking that educated adults, officers of the court, listen to a child say that there were tunnels underneath a preschool and that they took trips through their toilets and that actually motivated them to go looking for them.
Again, there's no accountability. Somebody signed a paper saying, yeah, I guess we need to search it. You know?
At whose expense? John Q. Taxpayer.
Wow. Who cares about that? It's the least of our worries.
You're right, it is, but still, someone had John Q. Taxpayers' money at their disposal to do something so stupid. You know? Yeah.
So in April of 1987, nearly 4 years after the first accusation was made, the case against the 2 remaining McMartin defendants.
Now, I sped things up here for the sake of time. There's already been one trial, okay? And it's declared a mistrial. That's where that is where the charges were dropped for the first 5.
Raymond Bucky and his mother Peggy McMartin Bucky finally went to trial. In court, medical evidence supporting the prosecution's case couldn't be established with any certainty. And although hundreds of children had been interviewed, in the end, only 9 testified.
400 children interviewed. 90% of those 400 declared by CII to have been victims. 9 kids agree to testify. You know why? Because the parents realized the kids were lying on a large scale and refused to continue to cooperate with the trial. And that number of 300 and I think it was 360 something is whittled down to 9.
Well, you know, it's also a lot of these kids who probably were legitimately abused. The parents did not want to further traumatize them by putting them on the stand.
Maybe so. But
some of them aged out to be witnesses, you know.
What's crazy is that even the district attorney, even the prosecution has staff threaten to leave if this continues because they are realizing this is complete nonsense. I believe one of them even does an interview where he winds up losing his job later, saying the district attorney is out of control. This case should not be happening. There's nothing going on here. This is absolutely a witch hunt, and people are just refusing to lose and trying to sensationalize a story that doesn't exist. People are starting to basically lose their footing and their confidence in this. And it starts with the parents, where basically the parents say, I can't believe you're believing that this happened. Kids lie. This is stupid. You put these thoughts in the kid's head, and that starts this kind of, domino effect where now the people are going up the flagpole saying they might be right. This might be a losing battle. And also it shouldn't have started in the first place.
Can you imagine sitting in a cell for 18 months and going, oh, timely whistleblowing. Thank you.
Yeah. And the one person that doesn't seem to want to give up is the district attorney.
Right.
After extremely lengthy cross-examination of children at the preliminary hearing, some parents decided that they would refuse to let their children participate.
You see that title there? This is the woman who was leading the charge this whole time. This was the district attorney.
Any further.
Through it all, the Buckys remain steadfast about their innocence.
True, when I'm very nervous, I probably said some things that are not quite correct, and I'll grant it and I'll admit that.
Including Mr. Bucky, whether or not you molested children in this case?
No, Ms. Rubin, I know that I did not molest children ever in my life.
The trial lasted nearly 3 years, and in January of 1990,
we, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the very defendants not guilty.
Do you remember when this started? 1984. This is 1990. happened.
And that fucking bitch that you put up there was the DA until 2013.
2013. I can't believe you noticed that. I was going to mention that. Crazy that you that you saw that.
No
2013.
With no consequences for her that I know of.
Nope. And guess what else? I mean, it really is ridiculous. No consequences. 1984 is when this started. This is the second trial. And it is now 1990. And Ray Buckey and his mother have been in jail awaiting trial the entire time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Children were.
Oh, you know what? Carl actually makes a good point that at the time she was the assistant district attorney. So does that mean she was promoted?
I'll say she got bumped up then. That's even worse.
Oh, shit. Or was she bumped down? That's interesting. But still, 2013, she shouldn't have had a job in law.
Yeah.
Period.
Never allowed to say in their own words what happened to them. And to me, that was crucial.
The trial itself would become the longest and most expensive criminal trial in American history, costing taxpayers about $15 million. That's about $33 million today when adjusted for inflation. After 7 years of legal proceedings, not a single person was convicted.
Not a single person was convicted.
And you know what they'd say? Like, well, we have to investigate things when children have accusations, and then they had their day in court, and all's well that ends well. They were acquitted, and that's the result we got.
Sadly, you're right. I mean, but what is still the major part of this story that's so ignored is that the initial complaint talked about flying and I forget what all it was, but the flying's the one that stands out the most to me. Flying on broomsticks.
And they were like, whee! And they flew away on brooms after. Sorry.
Because she looked at this kid of hers and said, like, he seems to be having trouble sitting down.
Yep. And
a paranoid schizophrenic.
A paranoid schizophrenic. And the truth is, we don't even know if that accusation is even true. She's the one saying it. We don't know that the kid. I'm saying
she assessed that. Yeah. And
right.
said that,
Exactly.
Yeah.
She assessed that. We don't even necessarily know that there was an actual problem sitting down with the kid.
No.
Yeah.
So like,
she probably kept telling him sit down and he kept getting up.
Yeah.
Or it could be something like, he wouldn't sit down and she spanked him. She's like, oh, his butt hurts. But she doesn't want to take the blame or forgot that she even did it with her schizophrenia and was like, oh, they did it. And I was like, she's playing doctor.
Also accused her husband. What happened with him?
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Nothing. The focus was completely on the preschool. And Rumple Trenchcoat actually brings up a good point. She was a paranoid schizophrenic alcoholic that died of I believe I forget what it was, but alcohol was a factor in her death because she actually the way this played out was that when the defense attorney accused the prosecution of misconduct, the judge said, let's bring in Judy Johnson and talk to her. And let's actually find out what led to these accusations, these crazy, insane accusations. Let's talk to her and assess her. And she died the next day or that night. Like it was literally either that night or the night before of alcoholism. But I don't necessarily know what that means. I don't know if that meant like she choked on her vomit or something like that. But apparently alcohol was a factor in her death.
Wow,
like alcohol poisoning.
She really dodged a bullet.
Yeah. a bullet of accountability.
So you're saying the prosecution had her killed so they could keep on with the case. Is that what you're saying?
That's my story I would have gone with.
That makes more sense.
Doesn't seem like anyone's being held accountable for making crazy statements. And it is so crazy Like, I feel dirty reading the facts of this case. We're gonna have to do something fun and funny next time. This one's been hard to be funny about.
You didn't find a way to turn this into a game for the end or something, or like a little.
It's still coming. It's the naked movie star game. We're gonna play it live on the air.
Well, and
Get
that
ready.
woman was how old when she was charged? 76 when she was charged or something?
Charged, yes.
So
70
she's pushing 80.
Yes.
Living
Yeah.
her golden years in a jail cell.
Yep. For nothing.
After taking care of kids,
devoting
poorly
her
or
life
good or whatever. We don't know. I mean, I assume, yeah, she was, decent at whatever she was doing if she was doing it all that time.
Yeah, and she was supposedly like a very respected pillar of the community, even won like some sort of award. God, I should have this
For
loaded up,
molesting
I
kids?
forget. Yes, it was a NAMBLA award. She won. It was some award for like all of her contributions to the city. I forget what it was, but it was basically a you're a better than average person award before this happened. She was respected. And then this ruins everything.
Jurors couldn't believe that prosecutors had brought such absurd charges on such flimsy evidence. For example, the naked movie star game.
All right. Now, let's put all this in context. The jury says, how the fuck did you do this? Like, how did you get away with this? How do you think this is going to go? Like, the jury's not legal minds. The jury is literally telling them, why would you bring this case? Because there's nothing.
That
And
freeze
here-
frame has the puppets in front of the mic. I don't know why that's really funny. Like
That is funny.
The puppets doing the interview, not her.
And here is the explanation for the reference earlier to the naked movie star game that Key McFarlane insisted that the children confess to. Okay? I just want to prepare you for what you're about to hear.
Turned out to simply be a playground taunt where children would shout at each other, "What you say is what you are. You're a naked movie star."
That was it. That was it. And this woman turned that into kids confessing to being molested based on a playground taunt.
She could have just as easily said, "Oh, the kids were sticking their heads in doo-doo."
Their pants were on fire. Like, Luigi, we need to clip him singing that for whenever we get a new member.
Oh, that's a good. We'll make a sound bite out of it.
Yeah, of him singing the movie star song.
All right, I like that. And
hey, what up, Don?
It's
Welcome.
just so unbelievable. So without even doing research to confirm what these words meant.
I'm sorry. RTC in chat. That got me.
I just saw it. Yeah, I'll put it up in a second, but without confirming what these words meant, she applied the meaning and got the children to confess to her interpretive meaning of these things.
Yes, that
And-
it turns out that the kids were what they said.
Apparently, some children were made of rubber and others were made of glue.
So Roberto, you're on there. I submit this is where the fudge is made.
That's the one that got me.
Yeah,
Well
that was
done,
good.
RTC.
And I mean,
some of the kids were Chinese and playing a joke.
And they had filthy knees. It's like-
it is so insane that this ever happened. So let's see a little bit about what happened after.
The jury could not agree on 13 counts against Raymond Bucky. So 6 months later, prosecutors brought him back to court. Once again, the jury was deadlocked.
Therefore, there's legal necessity.
Number 3.
Wait a second. Wait. Now they've already come back with a not guilty verdict. I know that like the layman's understanding of double jeopardy is lacking, but I mean, how could they do that?
It was well, the first one was a mistrial, and oh wait, is this repeating? Shit. You know what? Nope, I think this is repeating. There were 2 trials. Okay.
This is just the second trial.
Yes, okay.
Oh, okay,
To
okay.
declare a mistrial.
No, okay.
No,
No. This is a third trial. That's right. Okay. This is a third trial, and this one was different charges. Shit. I should know this. But these were different charges only against Ray Bucky.
Was it like one of those things where it's like, all right, well, they found him not guilty on like molestation, so we'll get him on like endangering the welfare of a child or some shit like that?
Yeah, I need to, you know what? I need to look that up.
The 1 potato, 2 potato rule or something.
So, man, I had notes.
No, because it seems as if, like, once you get a not guilt, I mean, a mistrial, obviously they can try again, but
no, you're absolutely right. So the first one was a mistrial. Number 2, with he and his mother, is not guilty, and then this third one was him by himself, and this is also a mistrial. But I can't remember what the charges were for this one. So I'm gonna look this up.
Wow.
I assume the mistrial was just they could not agree on a verdict.
Oh, okay. That's what it was. Carl's bringing this up. Okay, yes, there were 13 charges against him. That's what it was. Okay, thank you, Carl. You're gay.
Okay.
They convicted him on 6, and then they brought him back for the other 7 because they couldn't decide on those 7. So they brought him back for the remaining 7, and there's another mistrial. So this was the third trial. Yes.
God.
So
Now,
they
here's a
will not
question.
let this fucking guy go.
Was his mom still alive?
Yes, she is.
Okay,
still
I was
alive.
wondering if they didn't just bring her back too because she was dead. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, we're gonna actually.
She's actually still alive today.
No, no. And turns out she's a high priest in the Church of Satan.
Hey,
she really was a witch. That's why she's still alive.
broken clock.
So yes, there's a total of 3 trials against this guy. They have got a hard-on for this guy. They do not want to see him go.
And with that declaration, one of the longest, most expensive criminal trials in U.S. history finally came to an end.
I'm glad it's over.
McMartin lead prosecutor Lael Rubin says that while she wishes the outcome had been different, the case brought about important changes.
Very young children who may or may not have been sexually abused have certainly been traumatized by endless hours of relentless examination.
Among them, a new understanding on the best way to interview children.
Who should do it? Who should be present?
That's her only regret. That we should have interviewed the children differently. Not that we ruined the lives of 7 people maliciously prosecuting them.
Yeah.
Is that we learned how to better ask questions of children.
why is she dressed like a court jester?
Yeah.
that design is weird.
Yeah.
Man, but she's like, yeah, my only regret is that we didn't, convict somebody.
Yes, and she's and
True
you heard
prosecutor. I had no. I mean, prosecutors really. I think people don't understand it. Just they don't care if they about ruining lives. A lot of them. I'm not saying all of them, but I mean the mentality. I think gets to be about like the ones that you convict, your conviction rate and shit like that. Yeah. That's how they are judged.
Conviction rate, regardless of truth or facts or evidence.
Yeah, she's the kind of thing. She's the kind of person like she's probably really pissed. She was like, "Fuck, I could have made judge if this went through." Like, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things that's going through her head.
Mm-hmm.
This
It's good.
But you're right. It is tunnel vision for trying to simply win and not lose, with no regard to facts or the lives at stake. It's ridiculous.
Wouldn't you love to ask her like 5 or 10 questions?
Yes, absolutely. And also the guy who's narrating this specifically says, and we didn't hear her say it, so I don't want to attribute it to her. But the narrator does say that she did say, I wish there would have been a different outcome, meaning she still wanted to have him prosecuted.
Yeah.
And oh my God, has anyone here have either of you watched the documentary that was on Amazon Prime about Lorena Bobbitt?
No.
It's about 6 or 7 years old. It is very good. It's really, really good. It tells the whole story leading up, like the whole relationship. They interview Lorena Bobbitt, John Bobbitt, and talk about, her cutting his penis off. And whoa, what happened?
Sorry about that.
You're doing the dishes while this is...
Yeah. It's really good, but there's this one moment in it that I don't know. It subverts expectations because there was a civil trial after she cut his penis off. And long story short is that there was no evidence at all and no testimony from anyone that John Bobbitt had abused Lorena Bobbitt. And wow. they are like in the last phase of this trial, and it looks very bad for Lorena Bobbitt, because no one would testify that she had been abused. It was only her, her word against his, and he said no, and he was suing her anyway. So finally, I don't really understand why Lorena Bobbitt never asked anyone to come to her defense, but her boss decides that she's going to like volunteer and say, no, I saw bruises on her constantly, and I told her to leave John Bobbitt. She had all this knowledge, but just never got asked to testify. So she looks up information and finds a number to the courthouse, and she calls a number. And the way that they tell the story is the person that she got on the phone was John Bobbitt's lawyer. And I'm probably confusing this. Actually, this might have been a criminal trial. She gets a prosecutor on the line, and she basically got the wrong person. She was hoping to get Lorena Bobbitt's lawyer, but instead gets the prosecutor's attorney, and she unloads the story. She says, I want to come to Lorena's defense, and blah, blah, blah. And she's telling it to the prosecutor. And the prosecutor completely subverts expectations and expect you think that this is going to go one way and it goes another. He says, ma'am, you have the wrong number. Here's the number you need to call. And he gives her Lorena Bobbitt's attorney's number.
Well, that was the best thing to do.
He was doing the right thing. But my point of saying all that is, I think our expectation is that as a prosecutor, he was going to do the wrong thing. Like it's my point is that like prosecutors are associated with doing the wrong thing. And as they build up this story, you're like, holy shit, he's another corrupt DA. He's going to hear this and he's going to bury it and it's never going to come out. Like, without knowing the story.
I would imagine that they had a slam dunk case against Lorena Bobbitt in their mind. Or something approaching that anyway. I mean, you certainly had the dick in the field and everything, and like, who did this if not her or whatever? She's using some battered woman defense. I mean, that's what they're bringing forward. But if they, as the prosecutor, right, if presented with this evidence, they have to introduce it because, it would be a Brady violation otherwise.
No. Absolutely. And then
if
Carl
they bury
says
it, and so they probably figured like, the guys did the math and he's like, what? I mean, it's not even worth, committing the Brady violation or burying this evidence because it's not that strong.
But I guess my point is saying,
I see what you mean. I think I see what you mean that like, you would think that like the vicious prosecutor would just go, but I think it was not only was it the right thing, but I think it was the calculated right move to get a conviction because you could get it overturned on something like that.
Well, it turns out he loses the case. He was his own catalyst for losing the case, and Lorena Bobbitt was found not guilty. But I absolutely agree. It was the right thing to do. It was the legally obligatory thing to do. But when you see things like this, there's always this little shade of gray in which, despite all the facts, despite the evidence, and despite the obligations, they still just want to win. And that's that's what I think, the normal person associates with the DA. He absolutely had an obligation to do it. But my point is that the expectation is, well, here's another crooked DA who wants to win, and he's going to fuck all this up and, not tell the truth just to win. And the fact that he tells the truth makes you think, wow, he's the exception to the rule of DAs, as opposed to being the corrupt one that just wants to win. He knew he was going to lose once this information was going to be communicated to Lorena Bobbitt's attorney. And he was like, regardless, if I lose, I have to lose, but I'm going to do the right thing for my own conscience. And
I mean, I just I have a lot of problems with the battered woman defense anyway. You know what I mean? Somebody gets bruised, allegedly, says a boss, or somebody, suffers abuse. She's not in any immediate danger, but cuts a guy's dick off. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just like that. None of that works for me.
Well, that is discussed. And I just don't want to speculate on it, but I don't think she got away clean. I do think she did have to get punished for it because when it comes to self-defense has to be immediate and proportional. Right. Meaning, if you're attacked with a fist, you can only attack with something equivalent to a fist. If someone is attacking you with, a rubber ball, you can only defend yourself with an equivalent. So
if someone's trying to cut your dick off, you can only cut off their genitals.
But the thing is, it has to be immediate.
Yes, it's called cock for a cock.
You have to attack her genitals, right?
Right. But her life was not in danger at that moment to warrant such a drastic, elevation of the circumstances or
Luigi?
Defense method. Oh my goodness.
Exactly what I was going to tell you.
Nigsaw, thank you so much for the 50 Luigi Greenberg memberships.
By the way, Nigsaw, come back next week and I will have that match you wanted. I did not forget. We just haven't found a spot to put it, but I will do that match of you versus Frog. So I'll have it. Make sure you're here next week. I didn't forget, bro.
I forgot. Thank you, Nigsaw. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much, bro.
But no, you're on the right track, Pat, in that, it has to be immediate and warranted. He was passed out asleep, so her life was not in danger. And let's just associate cutting off a dick with life. That, that could kill someone. So she did get a punishment. It just wasn't as drastic because of the fact that what they did was they kind of looked at it as a cumulative effect of the fact that she had been getting abused. But she didn't get away scot-free, is my point.
That whole thing is disgusting. That whole that whole defense, to me, it should not even be allowed. In very rare circumstances, it might be justified. But I mean, there was a guy was shaving in New York, right? This woman gets the guy's gun. He was like a retired cop, and just blows him away. I mean, he was not even looking at her, thinking about her. He's not even interacting with her, just like Bobbitt laying there asleep, I just think that it's used to acquit a lot of these,
Did she get acquitted?
Victims. Yes, she got convicted only on the weapons charge.
Holy shit. That doesn't sound right. I'm going to have to look into that one. Nigsaw with another 50?
Holy
wow. Thank you, Nigsaw. Thank you so
right above
much.
That, Carl, member for 6 months, level 1. It's for right
Nobody
above
cares
that.
about Carl. Carl, thank you so much. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you for being
Nigsaw,
here.
my gosh.
Nigsaw,
Thank you.
thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying this. We
Damn,
promise
100 gifted. That is that's extraordinary.
That is pretty great. We're gonna have to come back with something a little more comical next week. We know this one's been a little heavy. Thank you so much.
Wait, were
Appreciate
you
it.
talking about the topic or the guest?
Yes. Oh yeah, by the way, we got a bunch of new emojis, folks. Put that we got that updated this week. But no, that's a crazy story. Yeah. Actually it's funny now I'm thinking about it. That would be an interesting topic just to discuss for the sake of, law tubing, self-defense, because man, people do not understand how detailed of a rule it is. And you're going to see stuff on movies and like the insanity defense, people think they understand it because they see it in a movie. It is so complicated and very, very I don't know what the word is. It's detailed, but it's also peculiar in that you have to jump through a lot of hoops to prove the legal definition of those things. Anyway.
Rightfully so.
Yes, and that's funny. I'm curious to learn about that case that you're talking about.
I'll find
that one
a
sounds
link.
nuts.
Yeah, we covered it on New York City Crime Report years ago. Her name was Barbara something. It was in Long Island, and she smeared him after she killed him. She started saying he was into poo diaper, with hookers and stuff like that, and
what?
all this stuff.
Oh, sorry, Carl. You do deserve this. Man, I'm very interested in that one. All right.
Barbara Sheehan, I think is her name.
Huh.
I'll look it up and link you to it.
Please do.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I was outraged. Crusty old
I want to know about that. That's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, but again, yeah, what spawned this conversation is that in my mind, and I think in the mind of most people, you expect a DA to just be a win at all costs, consequences be damned, ruined lives be damned. They want to win. And that guy was just an exception in which he actually had a conscience. And I
still say, I think you're giving him a little too much credit. I think that he figures even if I do get the conviction, this could easily be discovered and that would be thrown out. So just wanting to, kind of win the right way, in other words, I think he probably figured the likelihood of me getting this evidence and not getting caught and not getting, in some big trouble with the case,
that
so
is
more of like self-preservation over actually the right thing to do.
Well, and
I just say that it is a consideration, is all I meant.
Right.
And I do agree. I guess the standard I'm holding it to is that I've heard terrible stories of not caring. I've heard terrible stories of not caring, and that is where my opinion comes from. But you are right. He does have a legal obligation to do that, so maybe you shouldn't reward him for doing what he's obligated to do. You are correct. I've just heard such terrible things.
Yeah.
So that's what I base that in. But we don't have much longer here to go, but we are going to hear a little bit about the aftermath.
How all of that should occur and be videotaped.
Like a Mardi Gras puppet float
so
thing.
it really created a dialogue of examining the best way to talk to children who might be victims of crimes.
Nowadays, as opposed to back when the McMartin case took place, there's a very clear protocol about how to interview kids, and there's a very strong focus on being
yeah, fuck this guy. I hate this guy. Why is he saying, well, now there is, when dealing with the psyches of children back then, we were just all loosey-goosey and carefree.
Well, because he works for the CII, so he's not going to be like, man, they really fucked up. You know what I mean?
But
he's got to be like, well, things were different. He's towing the company line. That's what he's doing. He's doing the whole corporate thing.
Yep.
I'm not saying I agree with it, but that's exactly what he's doing.
He's softening it.
Yeah.
Softening it quite a bit.
Spinning. I think, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Okay, that's really funny. Nigsaw says it looks like Mike Morse.
leading questions of any kind. There's much more care taken to make sure that whatever the results are, they will stand up in court.
When the trial ended, the McMartin preschool was demolished. A laundry and dry cleaning store now sits in its place. After his acquittal, Raymond Bucky made a few television appearances, like this one on The Larry King Show.
What do you want to do in your life? I want to be left alone.
What a great answer.
Yeah.
What a great answer. Leave me the fuck alone.
I've seen what the news media can do to people in a crowded situation, and I don't want to be in LA, and I want to be left alone. Simple life.
The cases were dropped, but by then, the damage was done. Lives were utterly ruined.
All of them lost everything they had for no reason.
All so horrible and so frightening and so degrading and insulting. 2 years out of my life has been taken from me.
I can't get the years lost that I lost with my kids. There were 2 years that were completely taken away, and I can never get them back.
They haven't said I'm innocent.
Their lives are ruined. They weren't acquitted, they were just had charges dismissed.
And the panic had turned into a full-blown nationwide.
Okay.
Clusterfuck.
Yeah. Wow. Hold on. Rumble Trenchcoat, thank you for the $5. Man, the guy in charge of CAI really messed up the interviews. Guy in charge of CAI. That is, yeah, essentially what we're looking at. And Nigsaw,
shit,
with another 50 Luigi Greenberg memberships. This is ridiculous, Nigsaw. Thank you.
Thank you
so much. Sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that over. I was trying to stop it. Thank you so much. It is so generous.
Yeah,
we
thank
appreciate
you.
everything here, folks. You do not have to give, but we appreciate it when you do. Thank you. Thank you so much. That is.
And there's enough names where we actually will get to keep this. remember last time?
Oh,
We were
yeah.
just like-
Yeah. Pat, we're a small show, and there have been more than one time where someone has been very generous and given us a lot of gift memberships, and they got refunded because there weren't enough people to give them to.
Well, you got a lot of members already too. You
But,
know, so.
yeah, we're at a good point now. But man, there was a time. There was a time.
Yeah.
Thank you so
And-
so much.
And Big Daddy Dodo, member for 7 months and a level 1. Gracias, hermano.
Where is he? There you go. Big Daddy Dodo, thank you for 7 months of membership.
Big Daddy Dodo.
Oh, that's good.
Oh yeah, Big Daddy Dodo.
Thank you so much. Wow.
Paranoia.
We're
Why did that bat just speak French?
Did that batch speak French?
Guys, it's something Spanish said Big Daddy Dodo.
This is crazy. We just do a silly show. When people are generous and when we find out they like the show, it's like, wow.
There's 2 different communities that use this park. One is the pagan or occultic community.
Oh, that
And the other
mullet.
community is, of course, the homosexual community. Interestingly enough, they go hand in hand.
Jumping.
So
figuratively and literally.
The point is, people still, this was not enough to convince people to lighten up with the satanic shit.
On the panic train, Geraldo Rivera hosted a primetime special on satanic ritual abuse titled Devil Worship, Exposing Satan's Underground, which drew 20 million viewers.
That is 1988, in the midst of the trial. If you remember, the trial starts in 1984 and doesn't end until 1990. Right there.
In 1988, fear was poisoning the collective consciousness, and across America, similar copycat cases to the McMartin trials were popping up everywhere. Eager to be seen as heroes saving children from demonic abuse, prosecutors filed charges based on increasingly outlandish allegations.
So ultimately, this does nothing to stop Satanic Panic for a while. And
fuels it, in fact.
Yes, it fuels it. And now other prosecutors are jumping on board, and listen to some of these statistics.
In Kern County, California, District Attorney Ed Jagels led a crusade against supposed satanic abuse rings. Dozens of parents were convicted based on
parents were getting convicted.
Testimony coerced from children. Some defendants were sentenced to more than 1,000 years in prison.
People were getting convicted and getting insane sentences attached. So despite the fact that this case, the McMartin trial, ends with no convictions, other prosecutors decide they're going to get the convictions, and they're motivated by that failure to get more convictions.
Yeah, it's part of that dialogue that was started about questioning kids that was so important, to the other DA.
Exactly. They're all terrible.
1,000 years in prison. In Edenton, North Carolina, 7 people were charged with abuse at the Little Rascals Daycare Center. Why? Children claimed that owner Bob Kelly had thrown them to sharks, took them on boat rides to molest.
Kids claim in their testimony that the owner of the Little Rascals Daycare Center fed students to sharks.
Right.
Them and cooked a baby in a microwave. They also claimed that he made...
That combines the other obsession that was, through that time with the fear of Jaws and everything.
Oh, you know what? That is true. I didn't even think about that.
If you could get a Star Wars reference in there, you'd have the whole thing.
And then one time they fed us after midnight and we all multiplied.
And then participate in a
He
ritual
wore
where
a glove
baby
with
was
knives for fingers.
Yes.
shot with a gun, and they said he hung them from trees and burned them. Despite having 0 burn marks or shark bites to show for it, based on their testimonies, Kelly was convicted and sentenced to 12 consecutive life sentences.
You hear that, folks?
He must have had the world's shittiest lawyer or something.
Seriously.
I mean, come on.
Do you see what I'm saying when I say that this seems like science fiction? This does not seem like this happened on Earth, let alone in our lifetime.
The lawyer probably got him to take a plea, I think we can get you down to 1,000 years from like a zillion years. They want to give you 15 life sentences. I think I can get it knocked down to 12 if you confess.
Listen, they came to me with 20 life sentences. I got them down to 12.
I say take the
You're
deal.
welcome.
A lot of kids saying a lot of things.
In Austin, Texas, Fran and Dan Keller were also convicted after children claimed that they killed babies, made children drink blood-laced Kool-Aid, somehow flew them to Mexico to be abused by soldiers, but magically transported them back to Texas in time for pickup, dismembered gorillas at the local zoo.
That one got me. I was like, dismembered gorillas at a zoo? Like, everything else has been crazy. I don't know. That one just seemed too outlandish.
Well, kids, like the zoo, and we went on a roller coaster. I had a chicken sandwich.
I'm more like, whoa, you can go to Mexico fucking and come back in the same day? Whoa. Like, I was more impressed than anything.
Through a pipe system of toilets?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now we can't put all this on Key McFarlane.
No, we can't. This is all the spider web that is branching off of the McMartin trial.
But
these all happened in different states. Yeah.
But they just had the same questioning techniques and all the. I mean, like, was it CII? Was it?
No. It's not even involved. It is just the overzealous prosecutors at this point buying into the Satanic Panic. But I'll admit, like, I didn't do any research into these other cases because honestly, it was just making me angry. But I am curious, and maybe I'll get around to filling in the holes there of how they reached these convictions. Meaning, did they have to convince juries? And, did the juries hear these testimonies? I don't know.
I bet you anything, it was just like these prosecutors were a little bit better about banging the table, and
maybe. But again, I'm having so much trouble believing this ever happened.
Performed satanic rituals in a local cemetery, put blood in their food, sacrificed babies, and videotaped orgies with them, though no tapes were ever actually found.
And again,
For Raymond
no
Bucky's
evidence.
defense attorney, Danny Davis, the impact of the McMartin case should never be forgotten.
It brings into focus that our American culture can do harm to our children and the next generation to win at all costs, to have a great publicity run, to jump the ratings and make it for a day. Those are all adult aspirations at the sacrifice of children.
In 1994, a psychologist from the University of California researched over 12,000 accusations of ritual abuse, but found no substantiated reports of organized satanic groups who sexually abused children.
Oh, so let me get this straight. The real psychologist found nothing? Gee.
That is it.
This strange period of moral hysteria serves as a reminder of what can happen when we abandon the pursuit of facts for a more sensational fiction. The question is, have we learned our lesson?
Spoiler, no. There you have it, folks. Thank you so much for being here. Let me get rid of this.
I love that the television that you use there, Rob Saul's computer monitor that you're using.
that soundbite is, I mean, like I've listened to just so many shows playing it. It has not failed once to make me laugh when he goes, whoa, 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 whoa. God, that is funny.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody.
We got another $5 croissant from Dan
Oh,
Lizard.
here we go. Thank you, Dang Lizard. Has Satanic Panic really ever ended? Pizzagate, Adrenochrome. That's why I kept that Pizzagate reference there at the end. Interdimensional beings. The crazy thing is that I do believe that on a wide level, people learn their lesson. I believe, though, also that everything comes in cycles.
Yeah.
And it will rear its ugly head again, but it's not going to happen overnight.
I'm sorry, the satanic part is incidental. It's the panic.
Okay. You know what?
Yeah, you know,
I agree. That is a better way of
COVID,
saying
for
it.
instance,
Yes.
you know. I'm sorry, but I mean, COVID was a panic, and that's the way they were able to achieve all of that stuff. Now, I'm not saying it is as devoid of evidence and all that kind of shit. I'm not exactly comparing the two. I'm saying the panic was out of control.
Yes.
The reaction was out of control.
And you know what? I do agree with that. The satanic part is really irrelevant to the panic part. But I agree. Yes. People really kind of want, it's cyclical, but there comes a time when people want a reason to be outraged and blame someone for their problems.
Yeah, I was about to say people want a boogeyman over personal responsibility.
100%. And that's what the heavy metal episode really specialized on. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
An important difference in Pizzagate and the Satanic Panic, I don't know why I said it like that. The Satanic Panic. It was because is that the media was totally behind the Satanic Panic. Pizzagate was that was always seen as a fringe thing. They downplayed that. They were like, "You're a nut if you believe this."
I agree, but I guess I'm still surprised that anybody believed it, to some extent. And then what's crazy is, you have Alex Jones or somebody else who actually has a platform to promote a crazy idea. And unfortunately, I believe our culture is, if a famous person says it, it's got to be fact checked and true. And they just buy into it on the whole.
A lot of people still believe that shooting happened.
What shooting?
Oh, all those school kids.
Oh, yes. Big Daddy Dodo, thank you very much for the 1999. Thanks for the much needed break from the Dabble. That is why we are here. We need a break from the Dabbleverse. Thank you so much.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
What happened?
Nig saw 50 more memberships.
Are you kidding me?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
200 now.
I'm speechless now.
Y'all can quit y'all motherfucking jobs.
Yeah, right.
Wow. Nigsaw, you are being way too generous.
I can't.
Oh my God.
I got some new sound bites. Thank you so much.
You might want to keep this broadcast going a while.
I was about to say.
Yeah, I got nowhere to be.
So, Luigi, West Memphis 3, you say?
Who wants to see some Power Wash Simulator?
Yeah, who wants to watch Power Wash Simulator?
Wow. Man, thank you so much.
Thank you, man. That's really appreciated.
Man, I am speechless. I'm totally speechless.
And right now we got Carl with 1999, just because. I will unblock.
I don't trust it.
No. He gets unblocked for the next 12 minutes.
Okay.
No.
I'm gonna unblock. I'm gonna unblock you, Carl, to put up your super chat. Yeah. Where do you? Oh shit! I did lose it for a second. There you go. Thank you, Carl, for the 1999. And let's see. We will also give you a thank you so much, just because. And we appreciate you, Carl. Thank you so much. And I do enjoy our discourse. The other day, I thought somebody was taking it seriously.
It's flirting. Shut up. Let's be honest.
If you're at Hackamania, let's fuck. Yes. The other day I thought someone was taking our discourse seriously, and I was like, this isn't real. And they're like, I know. I was like, okay, good. Thank you, Carl. Yes. Oh, wait. This is what I was trying to put up here. That's Carl. There we go. That's the Carl I know. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for being here. This one, I got to tell you, this one took something out of me. This one was really hard to research because I was getting angry over it the whole time. I was getting pissed off. I was having like an existential crisis, trying to just think like, God, like, are all humans just inherently stupid and dumb, and like we're all just reverting to our lizard brains whenever we have an opportunity to do it? I had trouble with this one, and so we're gonna have to like I talked about things being cyclical, we're just gonna have to be goofy next episode. But
we got $6. We got $6.66 from Hammers.
Thank you, Hamhead. 60. Where are the goddamn farts, Luigi? You know what? I'm gonna be very honest. I like doing a fart joke when the chat asks for it. It's a little hard doing it in front of a professional comedian. It's embarrassing.
You know, I can go. I don't want to deprive the audience of that. Don't pin it on me.
I'm like, man, I am going for very hack, low-hanging fruit. While I do find it a place for it, it is hard to do it in front of a professional, like cooking.
A professional fart joke teller. Yeah.
But he did pay for this fart.
He did pay for it. How about this? There we go. Yes, it's like cooking for a professional chef. It's like I really don't want to be analyzed, but yes. You are a professional, Mr. Dixon. You have high standards, please, I don't want to do anything hack in front of you.
No, that's ridiculous. I'm going to Hackamania to do stand up. And
that's true.
You know? I mean, like, so
yeah, I would never do that.
I mean, yeah, let's be real. I mean, but that's I think your show is so well produced, you know, and that's another example of it. You know, you've got the 8-bit music and fart effect, you know, all ready to go. You know, I wish my show was so well produced.
Whatever.
Oh,
thank you,
Big Daddy Dodo, $4.99.
Oh, here we go. Now we're getting requests. Big Daddy Dodo, thank you for the party. Hit me with the Mike Walker. Okay, well, the Mike Walker is a classic. You know what? I'm gonna have to find it. I did some rearranging. Oh, nope. Here we go. There you go. Do you know the story of the Mike Walker fart, Pat?
No, but I'm a little annoyed that like for $4.99, I will like look up a song, figure out how to play it, and perform it to my limited ability. You know,
this is what I was trying to avoid.
You push a button. No, I mean I'm just stupid. What my model is messed up.
The other day when I was on your show and I was talking about how I do this as a hobby, and then you're like, well, this is what I choose for my profession. I said, yeah, the biggest difference though is you have talent. And so there you go. You are expressing your talent. I'm expressing my hackness.
And we both get paid the same.
Yeah.
$4.99. That specific one. I never get 200 gifted memberships, but that's great. That's when you have people requesting sound effects, you really got something. I mean, that's great. That's great.
It is, and
I'm not even joking. I mean that is like people, when they're that familiar with the show, and that's really cool.
That is exactly like Gummy and I have had so many conversations that we are just surprised that people want to watch our show. And when they do, that brings us so much joy and happiness. We're just doing a dumb show. And like, we like talking about this stuff. And we are so thrilled that people are like, I'm going to spend time watching this. And that makes us happy. And we're glad. We love every one of them.
It's part of the reason I'm so proud to be a part of it. Luigi and Gummi. I have kind of a heart out. I got to get out of here to do my own show.
Totally understand. And I'm sorry that we kept you this late. Please
Not at all.
Anything you like.
It's a blast. Just Pat Dixon P Dixon at P Dixon on YouTube. Give me a follow or a subscribe to it or whatever. And love to see you over there for that. It's usually really late at night. Starts about 11. Sometimes a little later. Sometimes goes till dawn. It's a really good all night companion.
Pat does a great show, but actually we got a request here from Big Daddy 999. Can you play us a little something if you have a minute?
I know a little funeral dirge here that might be fun for this
Sure.
for this particular show.
Sounds great. Thank you, Big Daddy.
Or the peanuts might be better. Like that.
Perfect.
And give us one doodly do before you go.
Oh, sure.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Pat. We appreciate your time. We absolutely love and adore when you're on the show, and our viewers love you too. Thank you.
Thank
Have a great night.
Anytime you want us, just bring us.
Anytime. Absolutely.
All right, take care.
Take care.
I'll continue Pat's plugs. So yeah, censored.tv. He has his NYC Crime Report show. It's on that for video tonight. And then tomorrow he does an audio version, but it's not the audio from the video. It's a different episode altogether. And I will actually be on that again. I've been kind of reoccurring, and I've been having a lot of fun with that. And that, just look up NYC Crime Report with Pat Dixon, and you can get that on Apple Podcast or Spotify. And it's great. Oh, and censored.tv, promo code Dixon gets you 20% off. I remembered all that. Yay.
Are you going to be live tomorrow? It's not live, is it?
No, it's
Okay.
pre-recorded, but he puts it up like right after online. Yeah, the video's live, audio is pre-recorded, but pretty much as soon as we're done, he puts it up. So it's like right after.
Awesome. Okay. Hold on.
And
Real
that
quick.
also, for you guys, know that has zero to do with the Dabbleverse. It's literally Pat gets like outrageous crime stories from all over New York City. So he'll tell like a really horrific thing, and it's like, all right, make it funny. So we're talking about like horrific murders and deaths. I say we, like I'm there all the time, but I just started. He's been doing it for fucking years.
It's a
But, like,
different
the past 2
vibe.
months, I've been on a bunch. What happened?
No, I'm sorry. I thought you were done. I apologize. No, I was just going to say that show is a different vibe, but I do think that our listeners will be attracted to it and enjoy it, because it's nothing to do with the Dabbleverse, but it's conversational, but also talking a little bit about law, a little bit about crazy stories. Like, it's a little mix of things that interest Gummi and I, but way more conversational and a very different vibe. And I really enjoyed doing it, and I enjoyed listening to it. It's great, folks. Check it out. But anyway, yeah. Let's see here. By the way, I'm gonna put this up here. Reverend Hamhead says Crow is fucking awesome. Yeah, thank you, Rudy Vega. Thank you for being here. And a very interesting point to make. Yes, unlike Karmic, Pat plays an instrument live on the show.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know if I tell you this, Luigi. So we had our Karmic, when we had our Karmic party, guys, if you haven't seen it, please watch it. It was so much fun, our Karmic dance party.
Yes. Karmic.
Did you notice the following Monday he debuted 5 or 6 new songs?
I thought we talked about that. We thought, yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I talked to you about it, but
yes, I did notice, and it was interesting timing. Yeah.
I trust me, I have zero ego. I fucking hate myself. So I'm like, oh, we started, but it's just way too much of a coincidence that my guy hasn't put out music in a while. And right after we debuted, I put out like 7 new Karmic songs. He did that. I'm just saying it's quite a coincidence. I don't know, but
yeah,
I hate to make it be like, oh, we did it. I'm not that guy, but
no, I think we can. Yeah. I think we could attribute it to us. He plays the same 8 fucking songs over and over and over again. Occasionally has one new one that he introduces and kind of uses as a test, to see if people react to it the way that he wants them to. And then we do that, and suddenly he has 5 new songs. No, I think that was a direct response. But you know what's interesting also, and I don't think I've mentioned this, is that if the chat doesn't know this, so we were sniping him for a while and playing around with these characters, and we were having a lot of fun. It was really interesting, and the audience seemed to like it. If you haven't seen that around, there's a reason. Pay attention to the timing of his shows and my shows. He literally has only been going on once I go live Tuesdays and Wednesdays with Hack Ride Studios. He basically is waiting for me to go live so that we won't snipe him. And he's been successful because I'm not going to quit my show to do it. But stay tuned. We might have something up our sleeve.
Yep.
But we just want you to know he's being a total shit dick and trying to run away from some gentle ribbing.
Don't worry. Your boy got some plans.
Got some plans. So, don't worry.
Yeah.
Anyway, just wanted to put everyone on notice about that.
Yes, Stang Lizard. It's clearly the album of K-pop songs you released. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Direct response to people doing what he does. Anyway, and folks, if you haven't seen his total crash out that happened live on Pretty Antisocial, holy fucking shit, it might be my new favorite Karmic moment.
You know what? I'm gonna get it because I did the clip for her, so I'll get that link real quick. So if you don't mind talking for a second.
No, go for it. But if you haven't seen it, it is amazing. And then maybe I'll put it in video form, but I posted on X a abridged version of it with Car Meep X doing the vocals. That's Beaker Karmic doing the audio part of it from his end. My God, he is just a child, a tantruming baby who's not getting his way and throwing a temper tantrum like I assume he's probably done his whole life to get his mother's attention, literally flailing his body around, his legs, screaming. That is a middle-aged man. It is hard to believe.
She's just giggling the whole time.
And she is just laughing. And Haley could not have played that any better. It was exactly his kryptonite, his gay kryptonite.
And just also for the Pretty Antisocial, just so you guys know, if anything, I'm the clipper for her. Now, if you get a chance, watch those as well, because I don't just take the clip and that's it. Like I add like effects. I'll do like funny like AI images. I'll sometimes add music. I'll do like zoom in and out of facial expressions. So I kind of make it its own thing as well. So I'm not just cutting out a video section and like re-uploading it. Like I do like a whole thing for her. So watch, give the clips, give her some love. But yeah, so.
Yes. And Taz, if you are still in the chat, I just saw the picture on X. I love that. Thank you so much. That is great.
Let me see.
It is, yeah, you're tagged in it. That is fantastic. I love that so much. We're gonna have to make something out of that.
Oh, thank you. That's amazing.
Thank you very much. Oh, yeah, she's here. Okay, great. Thank you so much. I love it.
You know what? Taz, you're going to be at Hackamania, right? If you are, I am going to put that, not to sell because it's your drawing, but I'm going to print a shirt for you. So I just need you to DM me your shirt size and I'll bring you a shirt to Hackamania and personally hand it to you with that drawing on it.
That is
And
great. Thank you.
And Luigi.
All right. Well, folks, I think that is it for us. We hope you have enjoyed the show. We hope you've enjoyed the series on Satanic Panic. But yes, we are going to need a break from the seriousness. Maybe we'll do something silly next week. I think I have something in mind.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. And I know sometimes this stuff gets dark and, you know, we try our best to like, you know, make it funny when we can. And, you know, that's why I have people suffering in hell behind me right now.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie.
Much.
The AI, real quick, let me just show you guys this. When I just put the AI, I just put like people suffering in hell, and that's what it gave me. That's actually not bad.
That is pretty good. Do that again. Do that again. Where you just where you pulled up. It was funny because it looks like you're flying in hell.
I wonder if I can. I wonder if I can do the whilst bringing myself up. Hold on, let me see something. I think I have an idea. I can't make myself. I was gonna try and do that while flying, but no, you can't move yourself and animate at the same time.
It looked like you were flying in hell. That was great. Yeah. We're gonna have to do something with that too. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. We appreciate every single one of you. This was an incredibly generous night. Thank you, Nigsaw.
Yes,
I am
thank you, everybody.
I want to just make it clear, we have no expectation of any money from anyone. So when you guys give to let us know that you like the show, it really, really gets to us and warms our heart. We appreciate it. Every tiny little thing warms our heart. Thank you.
Luigi.
No, all good.
If I could offer a palate cleanser, if you guys are around, you know what? I'll put it out. Maybe tomorrow night, but it was scheduled for Sunday, so we'll see. If you guys need a palate cleanser, I did record. Luigi and I did play Power Wash Simulator. So if you want to see us just talking shit and just cracking jokes and making each other laugh while power washing on a video game, please go to my channel, just at Gummy Chainsaw. It's a new show I have called Dummy Chainsaw, where I'm playing simulator games poorly of jobs I've never had before. And Luigi goes over how he used to do power washing. So we talk about stuff like that, and we just hang out. And so please give it a watch. It should be out. I'll try for tomorrow. I don't know if I have the editing done by then because it's like a 3-hour video, but at least it'll be Sunday by 3 p.m. It'll definitely be out by then.
Folks, it is so hard to explain this game and how it is almost hypnotizing. It almost feels like we're having a therapy session while power washing because our brains are just into what we're doing. Like they're preoccupied with trying to even out these lines, and it totally appeals to
Fern Dog. Fern Dog asked you for a quick bird dance.
It totally appeals to OCD and ADD tendencies of just trying to perfect things, and then we're just having a conversation. We don't expect you to watch every single minute of it, but
no.
And
there are times where we get quiet, and it's not that we're bored. We literally become hypnotized in a zen where we're power washing.
Yeah. And folks, it's interesting. And we're going to hopefully try to start doing some gaming where maybe we can invite some chatters on with us.
Yeah. RTC is going to join us. Yes, I get your pain. He said he's stuck in 2 scenarios at 99%. Oh my God. It took me forever to find a little nooks of one of the houses I just completed earlier.
Okay. All right. Okay. So listen to this.
The playground yesterday took us forever to finish.
God, that took forever. Okay. But listen to this, Purple Trenchcoat. I got this DLC package where I can power wash the DeLorean and the clock tower from Back to the Future. And I was stuck at 99% on the DeLorean for, I'm going to say like 20 minutes, and it was driving me nuts. And it turns out it was just this tiny little nook and cranny you had to get at the right angle. But I feel your pain. I had it today, but I love that word, therapeutic. That's a good one.
Yes.
That's a good
My
one.
advice, do the second crouch all the way down and kind of like look up. And it's usually like, if you miss something like under like a windowsill or some bullshit, to be forever.
I know. You know what? We should have a new show, Talkin' Power Washing Simulator.
Yes.
It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, but you just have no idea. It's so engaging. All right, enough of this nonsense.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. We are actually going to be working on some content this weekend that we really think you're going to like. Hopefully things go through and we can get it done.
Yeah, and we're going to be retooling some things in a good way, like media-wise, with like sound effects and sound control. And some people did ask, and I had it. So, real quick, starting next week, hopefully, like I have the account set up. We have a super tip, and it'll be supertip.gg/gummy.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have the logo here. It's under my name because it's for my channel too. I'm just doing it, but I promise you, if you guys ever, and you don't have to, just come and hang out and watch. That's all we ask. But if you happen to super tip during this show, whatever comes in, it's a 50-50 split with Luigi and I. I'm not, dicking him over or nothing. So whatever, it's, we have a nice partnership going on here. So, that's one more avenue that we will have. But like I said, just coming and hanging out and making us laugh more than we probably make you guys laugh in chat. Yes. That's all that matters. Yeah.
We're working on voices.
We have some ideas.
Yeah.
And we only got a limited amount for now.
We want to make sure that the chat enjoys them. But yes, next week we will have super tip. And hopefully
look at Revan. Oh, there goes the friendship. Yeah, because don't worry, G. We've been doing business for a long time. You gotta worry about that.
Yeah, it's
that second that becomes a problem. The second I burned it to the ground, and we're good. We stay friends, so don't worry about
that. Anyway, all right.
Yes.
Wait. So those are your plugs, I guess. You want to do any more?
Yeah, gummichainsaw.com. I added a bunch of new designs for merchandise, refreshed some colors on my bestsellers, deleted the shit that didn't sell. Not gonna lie, some of them bombed, but hey, can't hit a home run every time. There is a Crow shirt where he's doing his little flamenco dance with and I got mine today.
I didn't know you put that on the. I didn't know you put that on your.
Well, at first I was like, you know what? Let me make one for myself, and I made it like private because I wanted to see how it looked, and I was like, okay, this is kind of fire. So I opened it up to public.
Awesome. Yes, Crow is the new big deal in the Dabbleverse.
It's the dumbest thing.
But I love it. I love dumb things.
Yeah.
And now that Pat's not here, we can do dumb things.
Yes.
I'm so on guard about doing dumb things in front of a professional. Anyway. But thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. For me, normal Hack Rage Studios Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Unboxing Bigfoot it is. Unboxing Eric. Unboxing Riley Martin. I don't think there's any Catch 22 tonight. But let's see here. We just did an Edge Files last week. I think we're going to be doing one in 2 weeks. I think that's it for me. But yes, keep an eye out. We're going to be doing something this weekend. Hopefully it goes well. That might be some consistent content. We'll see. But keep an eye out. Oh, you know what? Since let's see here. Since Pat isn't here, let's throw something a little Reverend Hamhead's way. How about
a wiki game smart?
Oh, the wiki. Okay, yeah, hold on. That's a good one.
That one gets me every time.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
We need like a phrase to sign off.
Stay skeptical.
Oh, that's good. That's it. That's the one. All right, everybody. Until next time, I'm Luigi Greenberg.
And I'm Crow, aka Gummy.
You want to do it at the same time? No,
Sure.
no. You
We'll
do it.
see.
You do it. You do it.
Stay skeptical. Ka!
That's right.